Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk, where we have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversation. All right. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversation about band, HBCU band culture, music education, and more. I'm looking at Malik's comments. Is this thing on? Yeah, it's on. So first off, right off the bat, I'm just gonna let you guys know that Quan is getting ready. He's trying to get himself together right now, so that's why he's not here. Portia's gonna be in a little bit later. Now, with that being said, as you know, at the top of every single show, we like to talk about what's going on in the band and the music world. And so I'm going to bring in a special guest to let you all know what's going on in the band and the music world. My good brother, a good man of Alpha Phi Alpha, and a great brother in this music education game and this band world, brother Eric Prince. What's going on, brother?
Hey, brother, I'm doing well. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. I hit the wrong button. My bad.
It's all good, man. No, I appreciate you having me on here. Before you dive into the mass band conversation, I know it's gonna be exciting dialogue.
Yeah, it's gonna be one. It definitely will be one.
I got you, man. So if you want me to, I can go ahead and start talking about what just literally got signed into ink yesterday. If you want me to proceed with that.
Hey, you get dang it! I hit the mute button too many times. You got it. It's your floor. Take it away, bro.
Okay, man. So officially under U.S. bands, we changed the title from traditional show style to stats, and that actually stands for Standards and Technical Adjudication for Traditional Show Style. So it's just STATS. Very excited. We got a lot of stuff getting ready to come up, but officially, the Labor of Love is the actual grand championship that coincides with support from the parish foundation, and that is actually going to be on November 4th in Arlington, Texas, at Choctaw Stadium. Beautiful facility. Everything's looking great. Everything's going as planned. We signed the ink on it. We're anticipating up to 24 bands to sign up for prelims. And then we're going to have a finals after prelims, we're going to have people talking about show design, weapons integration, whether it's with guard for saber, rifle, flag stuff, movement, all those different things like that. Take an intermission, let's send everybody out. And then 4 bands from prelims will qualify for the championship that night for 10 bands. So the 6 previous champions from Alabama, North Carolina, Texas, and Georgia, those 6 bands have committed, and they're all coming to Arlington to compete on November 4th. So those 6 bands are in, and then the other 4 will come from that prelims on that Saturday.
All right. So you just said a mouthful, right?
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, and I know that we've had you on before, and we've had this huge discussion about it. But I really, really want you to break down what this is from the ground up, and then explaining why it is important to us as a people and us as a culture.
Okay. This may get long-winded. I'll try to narrow it down. I see Fred on here with his fancy hair, making me jealous. What's up, 06? Man, let me see. This has been about 6 years in the making. Just around the time COVID was getting ready to hit and it had to be tabled. And it's basically through Blue Devils Performing Arts and through U.S. bands. And we started with just the Texas competition the first year. And then last year we went to Alabama, we went to North Carolina. Of course, we had Texas. Well, we knew we were going to do a grand championship. We just didn't know exactly when. And the agreement was that the winners from the 3 contests will be champions at their contest, but they will automatically get grandfathered into the grand championship. That was a commitment I made from year 1, and that's come through fruition. So it's just so the champs can also say they're the champions, but it's nothing like getting everybody all together to compete. So I did some work with the Parish Foundation, and when they had their Battle of the Bands, I ran that, brought the digital package in, worked with the judges, had a lot of great interaction, and the discussion was, hey, we need to partner together to make this thing bigger and better. Now, again, I'll keep coming back to the same premise I said before. This is just another opportunity for our kids and our students in the bands to highlight what they do. This is not meant to come in and saturate the market, take away from our culture, be culture vultures, to basically say we're elite. As I stated before, whether if it's a jamboree, a gym battle, a battle of the bands, a mass band, a concert, jazz, whatever it is, I'm going to support it. But this is another opportunity for our kids to get recognized. Now, with the Parish Foundation being so great for this, because, of course, each of the finalists are going to be awarded a monetary award as well. And we're going to do a full retreat. So the band's are actually going to come on the field. They're going to get medals. They're going to get the full trophies, all those things, acknowledgments with the celebrity hosts and DJs and all that kind of good stuff as well. But it's to highlight what the students can do, and then to continue to show another highlight on what we can present to our community. And that was the premise behind it. And, of course, I'm doing some work this summer from Blue Devils with Southern University's band, Jackson State's band, and some other folks that want to come. But the bottom line is I've been building this thing from the bottom up, trying to show another level of performance for our students to achieve and to feel comfortable doing what they're doing and be recognized for it. So that's how this whole thing came in. We've had to change the dates a few times because we know living in Texas with football is king. And every time we came up with a date, there was a conflict in the Dallas area from either a Cowboys game or a college game or a high school playoff. And I told them, I said it, we are not messing with Texas high school football at all. At all. I'm not going to have a band go and tell their principal, hey, we're going to a band contest instead of supporting a football team for playoffs. That is going to be detrimental to us. So it's worked out. I've been doing constant communication, of course, and then the adjudicators are going to be in, and we're doing 2 different panels. I'm going to have a whole separate panel for prelims than I will for finals. So it's just a lot of work that's gone into this thing, and I'm super excited because now the ink is dry and it's going to happen. And I won't complain. It hasn't been easy, and I've had a lot of people come to me sideways to say some negative stuff about thinking that I'm trying to basically sell us out, which is not the truth.
You know, I first of all, I just want to say again, and I know I've told you on multiple occasions, man, I appreciate everything that you're doing, everything that you're trying to push for our students, for our kids, for our style of marching band and everything that we do. And, you know, we found, and I've been talking to Quan a lot recently, no matter how good you're trying to do, the good that you're trying to do, there's always going to be a hater. There's always going to be somebody who thinks that you're really against the grain when you're really for the grain. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to continue to say, keep pushing, keep doing what you're doing. You know, we're going to support it 100%. You know, I didn't get any video. I know you usually send me something.
It's coming.
Okay, cool.
It's
so
coming.
I'll make sure I'll put that in the rotation as well. But yeah, man, just kudos to you, man, because I know a lot of the steps that you've been through. And again, I also remember being at that first one at PV. We were there. Quan was there.
Yep.
And so yeah, I'm just elated to know that you have gone on to the next step, man.
Tenacity, brother. And you know, we got 6 contests this fall we're doing. South Carolina, Alabama, Jacksonville, Florida. Of course, we're going to be in Dallas. We're going to be back in Raleigh, North Carolina. So just a lot of great work being done, man. And a lot of bands are signing up. And people, you know, a lot of them, they appreciate the adjudication side of what they're getting. And I hold everybody accountable for making sure we literally find those golden nuggets for our students. If I may share, one of the ones I'm most excited about is the one that's in Shreveport, Louisiana, on October 21st. That is a first for, I think, just about everybody I can think of, because it is an all melanated judging panel, and it's going to be for Louisiana, Texas, and Arkansas together. And I have the people in place that can judge all subgenres on the marching arts. So we don't have to bring in a separate panel. These folks are going to flip the sheet. So those that do core style, military style, we have those sheets. And then for those of us that do any kind of hybrid, high step, traditional, show style, whatever it is, they can do both sides. So this is changing the paradigm and the pendulum for us on the other side as well.
So, and you said it, and I was going to ask it right before you said it, but I want to make sure that we have clarity and we clarify. Anybody can sign up for this.
Anybody. We want everybody to bring their band, and there are some people who come in that aren't necessarily, they do strictly core style. But I appreciate those band directors, because they said my students need to see other styles as well, and know that they can appreciate what we do and appreciate what they do at the same time. So that's really, if you think about it, that's really how it should be. The problem falls in when you fall into judges and adjudicators who don't want to learn other styles or feel like one is inferior. And that's what I don't deal with.
And see, every time I'm about to ask a question, you kind of answer the question, but it's okay, because I'm going to ask the question. So I know I've heard this before, man. I mean, if you're gonna let them in, I mean, we like to crank up. I don't know if they understand what we do. You know what I'm saying? So how are they gonna judge us if you got them in there and us in there?
Well, you have to recognize the difference in the styles, for one. But when you go, and there's no hidden secret potion or anything like that. What we evaluate is on the website. So the answers to the tests are there. There are some bands that are going to be smaller bands at some of the other contests, like in Florida. And I think in South Carolina, they don't necessarily want to compete, but they want to come demonstrate what they do and do like a festival type style. And I told them, I said, hey, yeah, we can sign you up for that to bring your students. The bottom line is, yeah, if you want to crank, but realize, man, I teach drum corps, bro. Come on. Like I love big sounds and all those different things like that. But when you look at it, it's literally set from a rubric scoring standpoint. And that's how we judge. It is not a hater side. It is not a trying to be like them other folks, or, I've heard them all, whatever you can come up with for me. But the bottom line it comes down to is the answers to the tests are there. You know exactly what you're being evaluated on and what your students are going to be rewarded for. And another thing that I love that I keep saying is the judges, the adjudicators dig to find what is there in the program and reward that for what it is. Not to say, well, we think you should be doing this, or in my opinion, it is what you demonstrate that we reward for. So yeah, come on and crank, come on and let's throw down, let's do all those things, but realize there still has to be another side for the students to understand they're being fairly evaluated of what they demonstrate. And we have those conversations when we do feedback session, because after it's done, all the directors go and sit down with the adjudicators that evaluate them and have that discussion, and then everybody exchanges information at the same time. So it's like, hey, you got it. You may not like the rating you got. Go home, sleep on it. Come back, get with your staff, contact them later via email, listen to your tapes because everything is digital, everything is there 100%, and come back later and then say, I want to talk to you now that I've had a chance to evaluate everything and talk through those things like that. So there's no hidden agenda. It's like literally I consider to be one of the most fair assessments that are out there, because yes, what the audience thinks and what social media says is that. But when the people who actually are evaluating you give their comments, they're basing off what you demonstrate. And that's what I constantly want to highlight.
And that's great. The fact that you're being judged not by comparison to others, but by what you do and who you are. And I think that within itself is beautiful.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know what argument you can give to that. Like, I don't understand how you could possibly argue against that. If the rubric is available and you're being judged on what you do, not what the band across the other town does, where would the argument be? So again, I'm really glad to know that you are continuing to push for this and that it has gone so far, and to know that you've gotten so many people to sign up, man.
It's exciting.
So if you're listening, if you're watching right now, if you're going to watch on playback, go ahead and get in there. You got time, get in, try to get in there, get signed up, look at the rubric. All right, don't go in there and just be like, all right, we just gonna go in there, and then all of a sudden you don't like your score, but then you mad because of the fact that you don't like your score, but the rubric was there. All right, look at the rubric, man.
Yeah, and brother, at the same time as these things are happening, I'm always available to help bands. There are numerous bands that have come to compete, and their bands have contacted me and said, hey, can you come and spend a half day with my brass? Can you come and spend a half day with my leadership? Can you come spend a day? Yes, that's what I'm here for, is to literally be an asset and a resource to all the bands. Like I said, man, I love getting into the back and forth of who everybody's favorites. Not a problem for me. I just love the fact that there's a positive dialogue going on and the students feel respected and valued for what they bring to the field. And that's all I want to do. There's never going to be this band only has 35, so we do that. Nope. If anything, we spend more time focusing on those smaller units, giving them that feedback. I've had 2 sessions already with the judge adjudicators that are going to be doing these contests. They have modules that they have to complete by a certain deadline in order to stay on that. That's literally covers through everything that we do on that module. And then there's going to be a follow-up session with me over their stuff. And some of those adjudicators are going to be given assignments by me to specifically go in under their specific caption and say, evaluate this band video that I just sent you. Go through it. Give me a tape. I want to see your digital side, and I want to hear your audio at the same time, because I want everybody to know this is something that's different. And of course, when change happens, change takes a lot of time, man. But one thing I'm always going to do, I'm going to walk my talk. and I'll take on all conversations and dialogues, even when some folks don't necessarily treat me in the most respectful manner. And I've had to have some other kind of conversations with folks, and they thought that they got the wrong one, but they definitely got the right one. But at the same time, when we finish that dialogue, we know we're on the same page. And as long as it comes down to rewarding the students and not feeding some band directors or some leaders' ego, I'm cool.
Absolutely. So a couple of things. One, first of all, for y'all listening, Prince is the real deal. I'm just gonna let you know he is the real deal. If you think I'm lying, just watch this DCI season. All right. Just watch Blue Devils. When you hear that horn line, that's all I'm gonna say. All right. But we do have a question in there. Justin asks, he said, so basically I know the answer to this, but I'd rather you answer it. So basically there is no winner or loser, just adjudicating.
Well, there's scoring. So there's awards that happen for the scoring, but we only we do captions. So there'll be a best dance line / majorette. There'll be best auxiliary. There's best percussion, best music, and best overall effect. So those are given out to bands regardless of score. And then everybody's given a score up to 100 for a rating up to 100. And then the highest score for the small band is that champion for that small band. If we're doing medium, if there's enough registrations with specific contests, we do one for the medium-sized band, and then we do one for the large band. And then the judges all get together and go through their scoring between the three winners, between large, medium, and small. And then the judges pick the overall winner. So it's not just based off the highest scores, based off because the small band may demonstrate something higher than a large band has, but they don't have a front ensemble or pit, or maybe not have a flag auxiliary, but they may demonstrate something very, very well. So that's why the judges say, based off what they presented, of what they brought, that small band deserves a win over said large band. And that's how it works. So there's definitely a scoring to it to reward it, but we don't necessarily go in last place, and we just call it out by a score. And I can say every band that's performed has gotten what you would consider to be at a minimum an excellent rating. And numerous of them earn superiors because we recognize what they're bringing to the table, and we go off of that scoring rubric. And when they know the answers to the test, they know what to bring to the floor to basically show what their kids, I shouldn't say kids, what their students can do. So yeah.
And to clarify, this is national. You know, once you win in your area, you are going to the next area, correct?
That is correct. It's up to the bands to decide if they're going to come to the Grand Championship or not. If they decide to decline the offer to come, then we open that spot up for another band to come and compete.
So basically, just to put this out there, this is your way to have bragging rights.
It is.
If you say that you're the best band in the land, first of all, Willow Ridge High School, best band in the land for as long as I knew. But if you say that you're the best band in the land, if your kids is top notch, so on and so forth, put them in. Put your money where your mouth is. This is your chance to say, if you're the best in my city or my state, go to the area where they're performing in your city, your state, win Grand Championship. If you're able to go to the big dance, go to the big dance and see if you can hold up. That's what it is.
Yeah. And Flow Marching has signed a contract for us. So that international viewing market is going to be huge. And I will get these flyers out and I will get the video to you. I just want to make sure everything was signed ink-wise first before I do these things. And trust me, I got enough gray in this beard here, but man, there's been quite a bit added because of trying to get these dates done. But I want to do it the right way, man. And that's what it boils down to. And, you know, between this and what's going on with Drum Corps right now, I'm extremely happy. Very happy for where we're going.
Absolutely, man. So there it is, everybody. I don't have any more questions. Prince, I don't know if you got anything else that you want to add.
Yeah. I'll state on the DCI side. So in Hattiesburg, Mississippi on not January, Lord have mercy. On July 26th, I'll be doing a leadership training that day. I did it last year with Jackson State and their leadership. So this year it'll be William Carey College. It'll be Southern University. Dr. Taylor's bringing his leadership and their students. And then Jackson State, Dr. Little's bringing his as well. So I'll be doing that day. And they'll get a chance to spend some time with the core and enjoy the show. Then in Atlanta, we'll be doing the same thing we did last year, where we'll be doing some stuff with Con Selmer and doing stuff on behalf of U.S. bands and talking about different things as far as people coming into the elements, what they have that Saturday, and we treat them all to food and to tickets and great seats and stuff like that at Georgia State there for the Atlanta contest as well. So just a lot of great stuff. And then, October 1st, October 2nd. I think October 2nd, I'll be going to Jackson State's Battle of the Bands to bring the digital package back, because they had such great feedback from the bands last year with working from that. So I'll be taking that back to work with them. And then, I'm sorry, I know I'm giving a whole lot of stuff here before you jump into this topic, but DCI wise, man, I can tell you, like, I'm going to brag on him. He's not here, but Rick Brown, Brian Warfield, all those brothers, man, and Mandarins, man, they are killing it.
Bruh.
It's great to see it. I love it. I'm blessed to be a part of that. And there's a lot of us over there, and it's unapologetic, and I love it.
It's chocolatey over there.
And you know what? And it's chocolate, and you know what? And it's great quality. It is high level chocolate that's going on. And I'm going to brag a little bit about the home team, man. BD's bringing it. We're bringing it. So it's going to be a fun one to see what comes to fruition, man.
I'm gonna miss that first show in the theater, man. I'm gonna be traveling during that day, man. So I'm really upset that I'm gonna miss that. But I already know, man, you guys are bringing some heat to the table, and man, I'm just gonna tell y'all right now, don't sleep on the Mandarins. Is all I'm gonna say. Don't sleep.
Mandarins they're bringing it, and there's a lot of us through multiple cores that are working right now, and we all network, and we all keep everything on a level with each other, because we know how we're viewed in this light. And it's important that all your viewers and everybody know we do everything we can to represent our people well and be respectful. Even those that don't respect what we do, we still are going to basically show a highlight of that. And for the number of us that have marched at HBCUs, we hold those flags high too, man, and carry that badge with a lot of respect and a lot of reverence for what we bring to the table.
Absolutely. Before you go, I think we had one more question. Good brother, Alpha brother here, Rodney. Do you recommend doing more than one U.S. Bands event in lead up to the November 4th event?
Okay, I could say yes, because two of, I won't say their names, but two of the champions that are competing November 4th decided they're going to meet up in Alabama and go head to head. Another three bands that are going to be coming to the November 4th to compete, they're coming to Shreveport to do that. And then I want to say, and then one of the bands from, I won't say which state, but they're coming to South Carolina. So it never hurts, because pretty soon all of the panels are going to be listed, who's going to be evaluating, but it always helps to get that feedback and know what you're getting yourself into. So if you want to come before then, I encourage you to get that feedback. And then I'm always in contact with the bands that register. So I don't just say register, take your registration fee, and then I don't hear from you again. I'm constantly communicating, because I want everybody to understand when they come to compete, they're on level competition ground, and that they're going to be treated with the level of respect they would deserve. So, yeah.
All right. And there you have it, Brother Prince. I appreciate you. Again, I appreciate everything that you do, man. I have nothing but great things to say. Again, I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you too, man. I appreciate Quan and Portia for being patient as I continue to just talk. So,
look, you good. Portia got her red cup. She's straight.
I heard one last one before so I'm the one that's empty-handed. But I will say this, and I'm going to shout this brother out, and there's no offense to anybody else, but I, as a former screaming machine, old school brother, I'm so excited for Will Brooks at Albany State University, March Ram Shell Band. I'm telling you now, I've told him this, and I'll say it behind closed doors. The world is his oyster. Those kids, they're the ones that are going to go to Florida A&M in that area going to go. Bethune-Cookman going to go. Alabama State going to go. Alabama A&M going to go. But he's going to build his own powerhouse there, and I'm very excited for the opportunity that he's creating for those young folks down there, man. And I'm going to be going there to work with their instrument, their wind instruments as well.
Yes, congratulations to him. I can't wait to see what he brings to the table, man. I did see that. So, and I think we acknowledged him when we found out on the show. So yeah, congratulations to him, man.
So Quan, make sure you sign your band up for November 4th, man. Sign your band up, bring them.
I think that's PV homecoming, bro. So
I know. Trust me, that is PV's homecoming.
It is. So yeah, I mean, but I'll talk to you after though.
We'll talk after. There's other ones because we're not going to talk about how you're going to act when you're there at PV homecoming. We're going to leave that alone. So
he ain't gonna remember none of it when it go down. There it is.
On the fire.
There it is.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna jump off here.
All
right, y'all.
All right, man. Lot of information. I appreciate him once again, man. It's just a complete joy and a pleasure to always have him on to be able to give all of that information out, man. The things that he's doing is just amazing. For our students, just being a person who's come up under the Texas system for so many years, and just always and being an educator under the Texas system as well, and just always having to for the most part kowtow to whatever is given to us. It just feels really good to have a system, or it should feel really good for those who are either still educators, those who are students, even university programs. It should feel great to have something that you can go to, that you can say, hey, they're going to take us for who we are, and they're going to judge us on that standard alone. So again, shout out to US Band, shout out to Brother Prince. And again, shout out to the Blue Devils and what he's going to be doing with that chorus. Shout out to Rick. I just will say that I've had a sneak peek of the Mandarins, and that's why I definitely say don't sleep on the Mandarins. I'm just telling you that. And that's in the DC. I go ahead and take a sippy sip. I got a little sip coming too. All right. You always say it's water. I don't, but dang.
I was warm, so I put some water over ice. That's it.
I tried. Yeah, I'll be trying, man. Anyway, man, let's go ahead and get this thing started. First of all, I didn't get a chance to, do our normal introduction. Quan, Portia, welcome back. There you go. I think I said that right. Quan, what you got going on in this music band world, man?
So big shout out to big mentor of mine, Eric Jimenez, as well as Dr. O'Neill Sanford, and all of the representative of Conn-Selmer. Right now, they're actually having their Conn-Selmer Institute in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, at Southern University. It's going really, really well, and I appreciate them for what they're doing. They did. So yesterday, Eric Jimenez did a training on retention, recruitment, and how to basically build a band program in Title I areas, how to sustain that, which was really good. Dr. O'Neill Sanford did a session today over basically asking, do you really want to go to the college level? Speaking about, I know everybody sees the glitz and glamour, but are you ready to, one of the things he said, are you ready to tell your family that on that weekend you can't go to that party, or you can't go to that birthday party, or, for your anniversary, you may have a game and different things like that. So understand the realistic requirements to be a college band director. And then I forgot the other band director name, so I apologize for that. But he's a staff member for Southern University. He did a review on Pieware. And all of this is on the Southern University's Facebook page, so you can go back and look over for what they're doing. They also have their high school camp. Shout out to my little cousin. She's actually a sugarette for East St. John High School in LaPlace, Louisiana, and she's at the camp right now. So she, did the move in and different things like that. And next year, if Hot Ice has a camp, I'm gonna sponsor her and I'm gonna send her to Norfolk. And I wanted to see all of the HBCU. So, but shout out to Heaven, when she sees this. So I've been looking at that. Also, of course, preparing for Washington, D.C. We running out here, we running inside, running outside. Texas heat wave has been something different lately. This cannot be.
So before you keep going, it was announced that today was the first day of the summer.
Yeah, not
yesterday. Then what was yesterday?
Yeah. I don't know what the day before yesterday was.
Always The first day of summer.
I'm just saying, today was 107 when I got in the car. 107.
Nah, it had to be Cedric. It had to be Cedric Todd. But in regards to that heat wave, bro, my dashboard say 105. And this was at 4:00. 4. And the heat index at 12 noon at the meridian height was 113. So yeah, it's a different kind of heat. But nevertheless, we're working inside and out, preparing for my kids for that. Going through what they could bring to TSA, what they cannot bring to TSA. It's just truly a blessing. A lot of my kids are flying for the first time. So it's like they like, Mr. Mitchell, can I bring snacks? No, you cannot bring snacks. TSA gonna throw them away. So we doing all of that good stuff. So they, they're not gonna throw snacks away.
I always travel with snacks.
Okay, well I'm not gonna tell them bring snacks.
You know how you put it in your bag though too.
No.
To carry on.
You can buy snacks in the freaking airport.
Well, yeah, he's talking. I think you're talking about before you go through check. I
don't buy them expensive airport snacks. I'm gonna have some kind of salty, crunchy something and some Skittles, and I buy my stuff and take it with me.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna tell my kids because they'll hit up this hood corner store and have Tahitian noni punch and Hawaiian punch in their bag, drinking it. So nah.
Now liquids is a little different.
Okay.
But I'm talking about like Skittles and stuff like that. You can take snacks.
All right, we'll mess around and have one kid that try to bring cornbread and oatmeal cream pies.
It's best to tell kids.
Oatmeal cream pies are fine.
But the point is, it's best to tell kids.
Yeah. But nevertheless, though, I'm truly excited and I'm truly blessed that these kids get this experience once in a lifetime. So that's really what we've been working on.
All right, man. Bet. Posha, what you got going on in this music band world?
Band season started.
You seem so excited about that. That was probably about the most excited I've ever seen you on this show.
It's here. Welcome. Auditions and picking section leaders and working on things for next year. So yeah, it's here already. I feel like we just stopped, but here we go again.
Well, I think a little bit of it is because you got National Battle of the Bands going on too.
No, we would have started by now already anyway.
Oh, Smiths. Okay.
But
I tried.
Not as, we would have been meeting, but it's a little bit different because of National Battle of the Bands, but we'll still would have started. So
got you. I have news. It ain't band news, but I got news. I talked to Maya today.
Oh,
yeah, I talked to Maya. She's doing fine, just working. But I did get clarification on the said question that we asked about Houston. We all four of us will be tag teaming up again. So she said she's down. She said just let her know, and it's going down. All right. I'm not gonna tell you how. She said we're gonna sneak you out of the hotel there, Portia, but it's gonna happen. All right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we had that long of a conversation, but I think she was in the middle of working, so it was kind of like
yeah, I understand.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. First things first, I'm going to start off by saying that, and I've been talking to Quan back and forth. I want to say maybe about 2 days. And I was supposed to call him back, but my brother called me. But this topic has been very difficult for me to converse about today. I'm not going to tell you the reason as to why, but I will say it's been so difficult that I don't even have questions. Like typically I would have questions that would be able to go through the panel and we would be able to have a discussion for the first time ever in the history of this show that has been going on for a year and some change now. I'm going strictly off the dome on this one.
Oh,
yeah. So pray for us in this process because we gonna find out where this is going. So what we're talking about today is the Georgia Mass Band and the Mississippi, or what's not Mississippi,
Memphis.
Lord, Memphis Jazz Band.
Memphis Mass Band.
Did
You
you
said
say
Jazz Band.
Yeah, okay. Not
Hey,
jazz.
one more ship.
But yeah, so the Memphis Mass Band. So I'm going to start off with this one question just to get it started. Who do you think bested who? Don't everybody talk at once.
We don't have no guests we can tag in. I mean,
oh, by the way, yes. If you want to get in on this conversation,
not Mississippi.
If you want to get in on this conversation, I am putting the link in the chat early.
Come on, man. Somebody said the crowd one. That's what I'm going with.
I am gonna, because again, this is straight up off the dome right now. I am gonna put the link in early. There it is. It's going in right now, and I'm gonna pin it. All right. I'm gonna tell you because obviously Quan and Portia ain't got nothing for me right now. I'm gonna tell you where I stand. And the reason why I'm going to go back and I'm going to say this is because I listened to it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you the whole process of how it went. I am sitting in my living room and I was watching the Flash, the new Flash movie. And so I am watching this new Flash movie. I'm getting into it and I get about maybe 20 minutes from the end of the movie. And Quan calls me, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Watching this Flash. I'm watching the Flash, man." He was like, "Hey, look at these clips." So I start looking at the clips. Now, mind you, I was watching the Flash and I was really into the movie. All right. And I start watching these clips.
Good movie though.
It's cool. It's cool.
See, that's how you know DC sucks.
No. The reason why I'm saying that is because I made a vow that I am not going to judge movies outwardly based on the fact that people tend to not go and watch movies based on what someone else says. So I'd rather you check the movie out for yourself and then you come up with your judgment, because what I appreciate in the movie may not be what you appreciate in the movie.
I'm too loyal to MCU. I'm just being honest. It's like I'm reading weak. So.
Well, I see. Here's my problem. I know we're getting off on a tangent right now, but here's my problem. I appreciate everything that the MCU has done, but I'm a DC fan at heart. Like I'm a Batman, Superman kind of guy, man. That's how I rock. But I've been upset because of the last couple of movies that they've done that weren't too great. But I'm still trying to hold on for them. So that's why I decided to watch it anyway. But he interrupted me in this movie to go watch the Mass Band because I didn't intend to watch it that night. I actually intended to watch it the next day. So I was upset already because I stopped my film to watch people crank up, right? So I had probably the most negative things to say the whole time. I don't even think I said one positive thing on the phone with Quan. And then it got so bad that Quan is the one who called me. And then in the middle of the conversation was like, "Yeah, I stopped watching it. I'm out." And I watched this thing from the beginning to the end. I watched that 45-minute walk in because it wasn't a march in by no stretch of the imagination.
That did piss me off though, because I was flash. I was like,
I don't even think it was a walk in. It was just I'm strolling. Like, dude, it was 48, 40. How many trombones Georgia had? Like 45, 60, all of them walking. I was like, good Lord. But I scrubbed through that and watched that thing from the beginning to the end, even when Memphis played 2 extra songs while Georgia was marching. But I was upset because I was like, man, I want to finish this movie. Anyway, did I finish the movie? Yes, I did finish the movie. All right. But then I sat back after watching that and I said to myself, you know what? Let me give this another shot. So I went back and I listened to it today. And for the most part, I'm still kind of where I was anyway, but with a little bit of a twist to it. So to answer the question, if you're basing this strictly on the loud game, why does this always happen every time I'm trying to talk? Anyway, if you're basing this strictly on the loud game, then obviously Memphis would be the winner. But I'm sorry. I'm going to be the person who goes against the grain, just like I did last year with the Memphis and New Orleans battle. Because not Memphis, Georgia and New Orleans. Because everybody was saying Georgia got New Orleans. Me personally, I was going for New Orleans. I was like, man, they had a more complete sound. You know what? I'm turning this off. They had a more complete sound. I kept saying that last year. And you know what I'm going to say this year? I'm also going to say that I enjoyed Georgia's sound a lot better than what I enjoyed Memphis. So in my personal opinion, if you're going off the loud game, Memphis got it. But if you're going off of people who are trying to pay attention to at least a little bit of cohesiveness in sound, I'm going with Georgia. There we go. That's what it is. Now you can argue with me as much as you want to. We can talk about it. This is what we doing today. And again, we're going off the dome. I do have at least one question, but I'm gonna say that question for later. All right. So that's where I am. Quan, what you got?
Well, see, it depends because no lie, I think as a music educator, I got to look at it from both sides. Like there were some songs that I felt like Georgia, like they played like a lot of whole notes, and I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? But I preferred Georgia's sound over Memphis, but they had more complexity in Memphis's arrangements than Georgia. I mean, it did. Like there was. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say it was two songs that I can agree with what you were saying. So that's what I was gonna say. That's all.
So it's like there are some I prefer the timbre, and overall color of Georgia, which is my preference over with Memphis. And then, but I mean, we spoke about the loudness. I want to take the loudness off the table because that's.
I agree.
But when it comes to like upper brass, of course, Memphis upper brass murdered Georgia's upper brass. But I couldn't get it with Memphis. Like that hanging over was killing me. I can't lie. Man, like that. It's like one thing to hang over like an eighth or a 16th. After some of Memphis, they was hanging over damn near a quarter note, half note after. So I mean, hey. So, but and let me say this, maybe I just got to be the one to say it. None of us at the end of the day are hating on mass band. But if we have to just be honest, what we're trying not to do and what we're not trying to turn this show into is like the bashing of the mass band aspect. Because we've had conversations behind closed doors, in front of closed doors, out the porch window, whatever. Mass bands is here to stay. Cool. But at the end of the day, there are just certain approaches that are just not for me. And I'll just leave it at that. Overall, so if I had to go, like I say, I ain't hating on nobody, but if I had to go with the winner, it depends what category we're speaking about. For me, my preference of color tone and different things of that nature, I will go with Georgia. when it came to complexity of arrangements and different things, and even certain song selections. Like Memphis played one of my favorite Marvin Gaye songs, "I Want You," "Cause I want you to want me to." Like that's a banger. Now me personally, there were some approaches that I would have had preferred over it, but I preferred that song selection. So I mean, it just depends. So it went round for round, but the overall, like I say, color that I would have preferred was the darker tone from Georgia.
All right, Portia, what you got? What you got?
Nothing.
Come on, Portia, don't do this to me now. You ain't watch it, did you?
I did.
Oh,
I
okay.
did.
Okay.
On my last 40 minutes of work, I had it on.
I told you it was like 30 minutes.
Turn my TV way down. Because it screamed at me at first. Yeah, it did. When it first came on, I was like, good Lord. What am I judging this on?
Whatever, obvious. Well, I ain't gonna say obviously. Whatever you choose to judge it on at this point. As we go forward in this conversation,
I don't want to judge it. This is the life that they want to live, and I support it.
Can I be real? Like,
so what I'm gonna say? We gonna have this conversation, and then they gonna show up next week and do the same shit. So I mean, what's the point? I mean, it was all loud. It was all people just doing whatever they wanted to do, and if they like it, hell, I love it. I don't know. It's not my cup of tea, but we gonna be some haters. They like that kind of carrying on. That's not my preference. I'm ready for marching band season to start.
I had a response, but I'm not gonna say that.
Why?
Carl, what were you gonna say?
See, now Simon like my answer. All that was trash. I'm gonna change it. All of it was trash. Throw the whole
trash.
Right.
But so Byron is in the comment. Byron is a good dude. He's building Port Allen in Louisiana, graduate from Jack Yates. I'm gonna be honest with you. You can't be, in my opinion, you can't be honest. I'm just being honest. You can't.
Right. I mean, that's fine.
People can say what they want, but you really can't. The reason why, what I've been a proponent of, and the conversations that I've been having with Julian behind closed doors is like, hey, this is here to stay. This is not some of their approaches is not my preference, but at the end of the day, how can we? I'm gonna just say it like this. All right. So much is going on in the music education world right now. And I don't know, Julian, if I'm going somewhere where you may not want to go, but I just got to be honest with myself at the end of the day.
I told you I ain't got nothing except for one thing. And so wherever you go, we going.
All right. So much is going on, y'all, in the music education world. And I'm only going to talk in my silo right now in Houston. So much is going on, y'all. They got band directors losing their jobs. We have presidents from universities abruptly resigning. We have music departments that are not even accredited anymore. We have a series of students that look like me that are graduating and not prepared to teach. We have a state took over a district. People don't know if they're gonna have a job or not. So the truth is, like I told Julian earlier, a lot of these people that sit in these positions to ensure that our culture lives at the middle school and secondary level, many of them, their first introduction to our culture may be mass band. And if it is this what we want to say the culture to be? I'm not saying bad. I'm not saying good. But I'm asking, is this what we want it to be? And the reason why I'm saying it is because if these people have to make the decision on some of these things, then guess what? They may that a principal in this district has the autonomy to completely eradicate a style of a program if they choose to. So for me personally, what's going on right now, I don't knock mass band, do y'all thing. I even considered Real Talk starting one specifically for high schools in this district. Like let me put it out there. I have.
He did.
Because I'm like, okay, if this is what they're gonna do, okay. But I would like to approach it like this. If this is what we're doing, I'm just at this point right now, I'm looking at the bigger picture. Hold on one second.
You got a call.
What I'm telling you is,
Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
Well, go
they
ahead.
don't care about none of that, Quan.
That's the thing, right?
They want to do that their way, and that's it.
But
That's it, and that's all.
That's the thing. And that was really the only question that I had. We keep saying this is for the culture, for the culture, for the culture. What the heck culture are we talking about?
Do we know?
That's the problem, right? And Byron, I saw you backstage. I was gonna bring you in. When you're ready, come on back, but just flip your phone. But when I ask this question, I'm gonna put it to you in context. There are a group of black people who just like to go out and do hood stuff with their friends. That can be considered a level of culture. There are a group of black people who just like to go out and do day parties, sit at the bar, sip and talk. That's a culture of people. So what culture are we saying this is for? Because if we're saying it's for our people, then going back to being honest about things, you have to accept that if we all going to the cookout together, just because there's a black person on the grill don't necessarily mean that we all like the food he's cooking. But we all there. So my point is, how I guess I'm just trying to figure out in my brain, if we're doing this for the culture, then I guess my question is, which culture are you doing it for that represents who?
Simon just said, if you don't like it, this ain't for you.
But if that's the case, and I'm not knocking him or taking anything away from it, my question is, if that's the case, then can we put a label on what culture are we talking about?
Well, let me say that I just want to finish my part just for clarity, bro. Like,
yeah, go ahead, and then we'll bring Byron in too.
Because at the end of the day, like I say, whoever want to be a part of it, cool. At the end of the day, I'm just looking at specific things for the bigger picture for years to come. Like, I'm not knocking mass band. Hey, Simon, like real talk. If I wasn't busy, I would actually I think isn't this event is it this Saturday?
No, I think he already had his event, if I'm not mistaken. Matter of fact, he did. I've been waiting for him to put his clips up. I think he put one clip up of the regulators.
Yeah, like I really wanted to support his event. It's just a lot going on. But like my thing is, y'all, music education is in a grave state. Like, it's a really bad place. You have college professors with programs that are just like, hey, I'm out. You have one of Howard band directors. He transitioned from being the band director at Howard to I believe he just made the announcement. He's over DC's like community band program in DC. Like people are leaving music ed, bro, and they're cutting funding and different things like that. Again, I'm not knocking it. The conversation I had with Mark, is it Mark Wayne Martin? It's like you got to say the whole name almost, almost. But it's like I had the conversation with Mark Wayne Martin. He was like, and when I was talking, I was like, all I ask is, where is the same vigor and tenacity in the tenacious spirit when it's the middle school and high school programs? I'm not knocking. Again, I ain't knocking mass band, but where is the same fight when
that come with rules?
I feel you, but it's like I'm just saying, it's like where is that same fight? Yeah, and it's Dr. Washington from Howard. Like you got people that are leaving schools, and then you have other people that have to build schools from scratch with much of nothing. We're fighting, for these degrees, and like now it's almost like where you have to have a terminal degree just to make ends meet. I'm not knocking mass band, but my question is, and like I've told several people, and I've messaged people, I've told Simon, hey, bro, why not the mass band portion connect with these fine arts directors and say, hey, this is what we want to offer. This is what we can do, so that people don't have to practice outside in parks. People actually have facilities. People connect with people like Prince, you, Julian. I'm a humble servant, like even me, to say, hey, how does DCI get funded? I know like last week we spoke about Santa Clara Vanguard, like real quick about folding, but that program was a program over 20 years, and it was $1 million program. How do we get mass band to that portion? How do we also still are able? How do we get to the point where alumni can still do their thing, but then we feed the high school too at a different sector, preparing them for the collegiate level? Man, I think I'm just to the age where now it's about solution based. Instead of going back and forth talking about, well, we a hater for this and blah, blah, blah. I'd rather us just come to the table and be like, if this your style, cool. But how can we help you help us? And how can we help you? Because if not, as a whole, music education for our people, we're gonna lose it. We're gonna lose it, I'm telling you.
Is that a conversation? And I don't know what happened. Byron kind of fell out. I'm gonna bring it back in. Is that a conversation that they want to have?
No.
And I'm not saying yes or no. That's just truly a question. Because and this is just kind of going off of the conversations that we've had on the show specifically. Again, I want to preface this by saying I am not knocking mass band. Matter of fact, let me go a little bit deeper. I like to hear people cranking up. I don't understand why people miss that point. Like, I like to crank up. I don't have a problem with that. But I also like clarity of sound. I don't think that's a problem either. Right? I like good attacks and releases. I don't think there's a problem either. I don't know why cranking up became synonymous with like bad intonation and bad tone. I don't understand where that became a part of it. But either way, I'm just saying, is that a conversation that they would want to have? Because I think a lot of the thing, or a lot of the responses that I've seen is, we just having fun. Let us do us. This is just to get kids off the street. Like, it's so many other reasons and rhymes and rationale. And I guess my question is that a conversation that they would want to have on that sector of asking, all right, this is what we can do to help benefit y'all? Because I mean, think about it. A lot of the conversations or a lot of the responses are like, well, why don't band directors come and help us? But then on the flip side, it's like, we helping to make y'all kids better because some of the bad band directors are bad. Like I'm just saying, like, is that a conversation that they want to have? Let me bring Byron in. Let me see if he's ready. Byron, you good? You there?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm trying to get the video in. I refreshed. I'm having issues here.
It's all good. You know, I ain't gonna say what I was gonna say. If you ain't got no video, just say what you got to say, bro.
Hey everybody. I really don't have much. I was listening to what everybody was saying, and Quan saw a post I had made because we was actually supposed to do this with another colleague of ours. Have a talk about that battle. And you guys actually talk about something even deeper, like the struggles of music education versus mass band. I love you guys that you guys are doing this. I see both sides because I am a band director now, and I have helped with mass bands in the past. And it's kind of like a weird medium that people are not trying to get towards. It's like one side is not trying to hear the other side. That's what I've noticed. And for some people, as band directors, some of us are listening. But then when we speak on our terms about, okay, this is what I do not like about the mass band, a lot of people don't know how to take constructive criticism. They quick to be like, oh, well, you hating on my program. You hating on this. And I'm going to be real. A lot of these people that have these mass bands, they don't have a program of their own, so they don't really understand where we're coming from. Like, for one, I agree with Mr. Luke. I don't know if that's what you want me to call you by. Mr. Luke, I agree with you. I'm sorry.
You no, you good. You good. I wouldn't put it up there if I didn't want that. So you good.
But I agree with you as far as I like cranking. Shoot, I went to Southern. You know, I love cranking. I love to hear it. But I love to hear it in a certain way to where it's clean, where you're not overblowing to where it just sound like some elephants. A lot of people had that bad. I hate the hanging over that Memphis was doing. I feel like that ruined their sound. It ruined what they was trying to do. Execution was nice, but they ruined it because they was overdoing it. Everybody was trying to be themselves and be that dude on their horn versus playing as an ensemble. That's kind of a little bit. I know I probably have more afterwards, but that's like the main thing that was on my mind. But okay. a lot of people are trying to be that dude in these ensembles, and they ruin the image of what the marching band culture probably should be. They feel like this is the culture because they're bringing people together, but some of them are also doing it for their own reasons. I'm gonna keep that to myself. The rest of that.
All right. Oh Lord, this man said one band, one side. Can I ask y'all a question before I bring Justin in? Because Justin, you finished with your chicken? I ain't want to bring you in while you were smashing your chicken. All right. I just want to say this. I don't know about y'all, but as a person who marched in high school and did the college thing,
you hate one band, one sound?
I can't stand it for the life of me, man. My students used to say that, and I'd be like, please shut up. I don't want to hear that. Please, let's come up with something else.
I think it's weird, especially like a lot of people who don't know anything about band. If you mention marching band or something, that's what they say.
Man, look, I'd be in the middle of giving a speech to my students, and then one of my random students would yell out in the middle because they know I hated it. They'd be like, one band, one sound, Mr. Luke. I'd be like, oh my gosh, please go run until I'm tired of seeing you run. I don't want to do it. Anyway, let's bring in Justin. I'm sorry, he's Simon today. All right, let's bring in Simon. What's going on, bro?
You know, somebody asked me why we call him Simon.
No, I'll tell you one even better. I was talking to Rick the other day, And Rick was like, I was watching your last show, and it was a random dude on there in the dark who was sitting up there arguing for Mass Band. And I was like, what random dude? We ain't had no other dude on the show except for Justin. And he was like, nah, it wasn't Justin. It was some other dude in the dark. And I was like, what is he talking about? And I was like, oh, that was Justin. He just, we call him Simon. He was in his car. He was like, oh, yeah. So people don't even know we call you Simon. So, hey.
I had somebody ask me why we call him Simon.
Just telling the world may never know.
Right.
Like I said, it got me messed up. But anyway, y'all say so much. I was trying to catch it between who won, who lost, and like the. I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna grab on this part. It's like we all have our disagreements. You know what I'm saying? Y'all feel y'all way, I feel my way. But what I'm starting to realize is that like I just think sometimes, you know how when somebody be like, no offense, I don't mean to say this, no disrespect, but what they about to say next is like that. I think sometimes when y'all say that, I know y'all kind of genuinely mean it in a sense, but it don't come off that way. So let's say for what Fun said, you said about can we sit down and talk about what could y'all bring to us and how can we help each other, basically. I think that I ain't gonna say, I thought about that. I don't know how. I know how we can help y'all. And I'm putting all y'all in the same category, even the people who hate on Mass Band because they probably couldn't do it. And the people who actually don't hate, they just want to show, they just want to like, fix certain things. I see how we can help y'all, but I don't think that y'all will want the help that we can give. Versus, I guess y'all, whatever y'all can help us with in a sense, besides stuff like how you say bridging the gap, like partnering, we could finally find somewhere to practice. But like with that, what we do in our rules and things that they should, but I guess certain things, like I guess one of the things I always bring up, like the kids and the adults, y'all probably wouldn't want that in the same sense, like, certain things. I don't know how, it's just, you have to come to the table and talk and be willing to accept each other for what y'all trying to offer each other. And if y'all not agreeing, just don't worry about it. I think both parties are operating fine. Just how you said, like the music programs are failing and stuff like that. I can over here into our horn that like we getting product and viewership and membership on what we doing. Y'all in the field, quote unquote, maybe something wrong with what y'all doing. Maybe it's too traditional. Maybe y'all need to find better ways because like a lot of programs that's surviving, quote unquote, and just the top programs that staying consistent across the years, they doing a lot of what we doing. You know what I'm saying? Even whether you playing the top song on the radio, whether it's a cranking up, whether it's just, it is what it is. So maybe like most people need to take note of what we doing and use what y'all morals and values is of it and try to find a way, because what we doing is A-okay. And I don't like how people try to make something like this, what we doing is new. This is almost 13 to 15 years old. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just catching on to it. We've been doing this for a minute now, and it's ain't going nowhere, like y'all say. Another thing, I don't like how, like, I guess when y'all said an argument about, I think Memphis won. It ain't Memphis beat Georgia up. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But y'all trying to say musically, I guess y'all will go with Georgia, but y'all will go with Memphis. Besides hanging over and whatever, Memphis had all the musical things they had and better arrangements and more complex arrangements, as you guys agreed to. Georgia played a bunch of, I ain't say it wasn't BS, it just got boring after a while, you know what I'm saying? Something tuba drum break come in, but it was balanced and this, that, and the third. So I don't know, man, it's like you can't win when trying to appease, I guess, the other side. I ain't gonna say like people who hit on this, the other side, but it was great. And if that was two of the best summer bands right now, you know what I'm saying? I don't find nothing wrong. Besides the hanging over, the F1 came in on single for the night. He messed up that part. But besides that, like we deducted him for that. We like, yeah, you messed up or whatever. But it was good, man. It was good music. And the hanging over, go to the hanging over too. A lot of times that goes back to, I guess, I don't want to say ignorance, but the stuff that we like. Because that's like Luke, you said one time you used to like hanging over at Norfolk, but until somebody got on your butt or whatever, it is what it is. That's that. And most time it probably you said that.
He said he was screaming. He said he took everything up. Yeah. Okay,
taking everything up, not hanging over per se. Hey, taking everything up, but hanging over, and they're not really still hanging over. A lot of them they just coming in on they coming in on the 3 and the 4 of the last note and kind of like bleeding over to the end. Me personally, if you smack it I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? Especially if the arrangement fire like that. But it's just when you miss, that's when it kind of sounds good. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's so much, but I don't think nothing was wrong with that battle. Yes, it's loud. Yes, it's aggressive. It's summer band. Like if you want to compare it to, I guess, real band and HBCU band, let's compare it all the way. Ain't no way you got 50 something too. What college band's doing that? College band can't recruit like that. That's another story for another day. Like 60 trombones. What college band is doing that? We don't my same answer for that. So like, were you trying to compare?
Hold on, Simon, because if we could just
I was gonna let him rock. I was gonna let him rock.
We could pursue anybody, come as you are, whosoever will. We would be huge too, but we're at a place of higher education that requires.
You know what's crazy, Portia? I disagree. I disagree. You said only certain bands.
People try to be in a band and ain't going to nobody's campus, and we gotta say no. You gotta be in school.
Hey, Portia. To your point, you know how many bands accepting anybody?
They do that.
Oh, so stop! Don't act it on. Come on, Portia. Don't act like it don't. There's a lot of bands accept anybody. You know what I'm saying? But that's not to them. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to no. What I'm saying, no, like, okay, you got to be in a place to higher learn. What I'm saying is that I'm just drawing a line. Somebody called me. I know who called me. They're watching the show. I'm drawing a line between the difference of like, because people be so. I ain't saying hard on mass bands. It's for to be different. It's not college band. It's not college. So when people stop trying to make it that, maybe you try to understand it more. You know what I'm saying?
This
college band.
I ain't had no opinion. Let these people just blow their damn face.
It's not.
So let me share. So I'm happy, bro. See, the difference here with me, I think. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I was just laughing at you said let me share. I'm sorry.
Because like at the end of the day, this is how I feel, and maybe I'm wrong, but this is how I feel. At the end of the day, as African Americans, everything that we do will be scrutinized. Like I'm gonna be clear. I'm a member of Phi Mu Alpha Symphonia. It is a predominantly white fraternity. Y'all brothers are Kappa Psi. Like, it was founded by white people. And the truth is, we walk in spaces and places in African American as well as Caucasian and white. It's not about pleasing white folks, but it's about an aspect of excellent musicianship. You said, Justin, what can we bring for both? Some of the directors for these mass bands, some of them are either they may be current college students, or they may have marched for a band and they may be pursuing a degree in music. That's one how we can help them to ensure that they can attain it. And I'm gonna be honest, the reason why I'm saying that is because many of these schools, when they're pushing kids out, they can get a job, but they really ain't getting paid much because they don't have the certain certificates. Can help them with that.
That's how you can help us, correct?
Yeah, like respectfully.
No, I was confused on what you were saying. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, so respectfully, like to ensure, like to mentor a brother, a young brother, a young sister, to ensure that they got their paperwork right so that they can provide for their family. That's one. Number two, we did speak about facilities. Number three, it is a larger network. So if you had, for example, like 6, and I'm gonna use Houston, for example. If you had 6 high school bands in Houston that say, hey, we're gonna get together and we're gonna help with Greater Houston All-Star Band. Right now, I have, I think, give or take 50 kids in Worthing. I know Westbury had about 60. Just say if we went to another school, that's over 100 kids right there. Cool. Greater Houston All-Star will be doing their thing. Now, we cannot participate due to other higher ups. And let me be clear, right? But if we had the presentation, like I always explain, the presentation to take to the fine arts director of HISD and say, hey, this is what this summer program is offering. it will help kids stay off the streets because everybody know in urban areas the murder rates go up during the summer. Statistically, if you could present that to them, then we back this up, and all of these kids gonna participate in these programs. They stay on their horn. We know that they're gonna get proper pedagogy, as well as the network is going to be larger. You have the backing of these fine arts directors where they say, hey, these overseers of these programs, we trust them. And then it could be something that honestly that the camps like we speak about in DCI can happen in December. So maybe for the Juneteenth parade, you can have the quote unquote HISD all-star band that participates. So it's like one hand wash the other. I've had the conversation. Go on.
I definitely get, because we talked about it before. I definitely get what you're saying, and we definitely talked about that. I think it's just more so like, because my next question about to be, so how can doing what we do help y'all? But then I thought about something because we just said it. Like, I just think sometimes, even with All-Star Band, like I need to write this down, but All-Star Band, it gives everybody an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? The kid that couldn't make it in the college band. You know what I'm saying? The kid probably didn't have the grades. Like the adult that still wants to do it. You know what I'm saying? The kid that goes to a court stop marching band. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, all he do is, you know, little feet walking, you know, side to side play. Now he want to crank up because he see what we do, the culture. You know what I'm saying? And earlier,
we spoke about that earlier.
About, the culture. Now I noticed that, you know, now you say all skin folk and kinfolk. You know what I'm saying? The culture can be. The culture can be a circle, you know what I'm saying? Like, break it down to college band. Like, you know, the people over there, like I said, the Norfolk, the A&T, MEAC, they do their thing, you know what I'm saying? More soccer play, you know, swag on this way, we crank up, you know what I'm saying? But that don't not all make us the culture. So, for example, like this year, which I can't wait till next weekend, Virginia Marching Band, the Vanguard, that's what they call themselves. They're battling North Carolina. Can't wait to see them pop out because I can't wait to the product to hear what they gotta say. But even when we was arguing with George on the live stream the other day, they was like they don't want to take the L that they got. Because they said one of the excuses was like basically they try to resemble more of a college band. You know,
you talking about Marcus? But y'all, Crucial Conflict and Marcus?
Who trying to resemble
watched it?
college
Yeah.
band?
I told you. I told you. I'll be watching it. I'll be
Who
watching
trying to resemble more of a college band?
Mm-hmm. Georgia game, you know what I'm saying? And I was telling them, like, because our thing is for why they lost this battle, because the same reason why people saying we lost. When you at the top, people coming for your head, you know what I'm saying? And like, to me, they got beat up. It wasn't the same way they lost. It's just they got beat up. But I'm saying to say the culture can be multiple different ways of doing what we all doing marching band, the way we do it. You know what I'm saying? Show style marching band is different. It may look different, but that don't make it not the culture. And when we say we're doing it for the culture, mass band is a culture. You know what I'm saying? It is. It's a part of the culture that makes you want to go to your favorite college band. Hey, you might not accept them. I had 5 college directors in my battle band. 5 college directors at my battle bands. So like obviously somebody liking what we doing and what we got going on, whether it be trying to recruit. Well, no, Mr. Everson, he a part of the culture. He's from 57. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be just wanting to support your students doing what they like to do. It's so many reasons why, but I don't see how like what people see wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? With all stuff, but I can't find a reason. And even like some of these high school band directors who a lot of high school band directors support, but a lot of high school band directors be telling kids, you must for them, you can't be in my band. Stuff like that. Like don't want to let your kid use an instrument. You can go march for them, but you can't use a school instrument. I understand, but like you care when they practice it, but when they want to play with somebody else is a problem. Now, like it's all kind of stupid stuff. So I just don't see.
Let me quickly say this. Because it was something you said earlier that I do want to kind of get on, but again, and I just want to make this very, very clear. I, Luke, am not against mass band. What I am against is sounding bad. And that is from anybody. I don't give a dang who you are. HBCU, high school, mass band, DCI. If you sound bad, you sound bad.
Trash.
That's all I'm saying. So at the end of the day, my argument is never, or my questions or my thought process is never against mass band. My questions are always against approach. So earlier, and so I'm gonna ask these two questions, and I know Crystal's backstage. I know she want to get in. Crystal, do me a favor, turn your phone sideways. But you said something earlier that I still don't get, because you said it on Crucial Conflict too. Because somebody asked, you said college band is different than mass band. And so in my brain, I hear one root word, band. So in my and this is just me, in my brain, I'm always thinking of an approach to music in a way that is the correct way of approaching band in music, proper attacks and releases, intonation, tone. And so this goes into my next point. I don't understand what y'all mindset is when it comes to the MEAC and cranking up. Like, we didn't crank up when I was in school. I don't listen to me. Justin, you can say whatever it is that you want to say. You didn't, and this is not taken away from the Legion right now. I'm just gonna say that. But you did not stand in front of my Legion during the day. You did not stand in front of A&T, the small band with the big sound. Those were two totally. Let us not forget A&T and Southern. So the idea of the MEAC not cranking up is really weird to me. I don't really.
I don't know. You're from Texas, dog. You're from Texas, and I just
absolutely right. I'm from Texas, and that is the problem that I have with that. Is the fact that I come from Texas. I come from watching Southern. I come from watching Jackson. I come from the area of Texas Southern and Prairie View, dog. Like, I know what it is to crank up. I also know what it is to sound good. Like, I don't understand why those two things cannot be joined together in your thought process. Like,
they can't. No, and that's the point. I've been wanting to ask you. I didn't want to interrupt you. Like, who didn't sound good? Who didn't?
No. Simon, you thought all of that sounded good.
Listen, I said it had it. I said it had its moments. I can point out everything that didn't sound good, but for the most part, yes, that was a great battle. It was.
What happened to Quan? Anyway, I'm just gonna say it. Between Georgia and Memphis from an intonation standpoint sounded bad. Between the slurring in the upper trumpets, the lack of articulation in the voices, there was a lot more clarity in Georgia sound. Did Memphis have the better arrangements? Absolutely. I will definitely give it to Memphis when it comes to the arrangement. Did Memphis choose a better book? Absolutely, by far. But when it comes to sounding good and clarity, I'm sorry, dog. It just wasn't there for me, bro.
Hey, listen. Hey, look.
And that's not a mass band thing. It's just, to me.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not that much. When I say difference, I mean all the other stuff. Like, people try to point out. I get it. It's thing, intonation, the way you attack and release on those. I definitely get it, and that's okay. Luke, you feel like they won. That's cool, and nothing's wrong with your opinion. Like last year, I still feel like we beat Jordan last year. I'm not saying nothing wrong with your opinion. I'm just saying
that too. I agree with that.
I just feel like them people got the payment and got their butt whooped. I listen, but that's the song selection alone. Let's just talk about it.
I agree with that. Did I disagree with that though?
Listen, it's almost like I don't want to give the ABC, so you gonna get one person. This is all star. So when Georgia pull out, like I was telling a boy, y'all can't say that y'all not a cranking band when you got songs like Federal Raid and all this loud stuff that we love for y'all. And y'all kind of changed some of band ranks. Y'all push the narrative a little bit more than New Orleans, because New Orleans we got crucified for it. But y'all play songs like King of Pride Rock and songs, just other like anime type songs. You know what I'm saying? None of that was played yesterday. I definitely get that. Besides that, Memphis, we going pound for pound. We come in here, this crank up, because all that support of some band. They crank up the ignorance, all that support of some band. Y'all just got outdone, and there was more entertaining than other bands. So yes, they sound good. We never say Georgia didn't sound good. Everything clearly balanced. It's amazing how they get all the people to stay balanced in that band. That's even though there's a lot of fluff and stuff for that day, but Memphis simply beat them up. Like stop acting like you don't like the eyes. You heard them cry, and it was at their home. So I get what you're saying, Luke, but on the entertaining, we come to hear their work. You know what I'm saying? Memphis won. Ain't nothing you can say about it. That's still bad. Let's still deal with. You can't act like Memphis was that bad. You tell us like they sounded as bad. It was raising score, and honestly, yeah, I tell you, I don't want to do that because they hurt some feelings. Nevertheless, yeah.
Before I let Crystal go, I'm just gonna ask this one question. I don't know what happened to Quan. Anyway,
check the private chat.
But before okay. Before I let Crystal go, I'm gonna ask this question: who is the greatest entertainer of our time?
Y'all a little older than me.
Who's the greatest entertainer of our time?
I'm gonna go with Michael Jackson. That's my favorite. Period. I ain't never seen nobody pass out and do all that, fall on barricades like Michael Jackson. I love Beyonce to death, but you ain't seen too many people pass out. Gotta call a stretcher. You may see a tear or two with Michael Jackson.
Tristan, do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Mike. If we're gonna talk about one person, it's definitely Michael Jackson.
So
hands down.
So besides the entertainment factor, was he musically sound?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, go ahead, Crystal.
Since y'all mentioned that, that's a good way to go. Michael Jackson is the greatest because he was the greatest to everybody undeniably. Right? We can all agree that it don't matter if you are in America or you in Czechoslovakia or wherever. Michael Jackson is the greatest, like, it's undisputable. My problem when we talk about what college bands do versus mass bands do versus people in public school do is we talk like one entity is the greatest for all entities involved. And it's not. I know students who really don't listen to anything mass band, and they look like me, and they grow up in the hood, because culturally it's just not present. It's not present, and maybe if it was present, it might be something like, but in their culture, it's not the greatest thing. It's not the greatest thing to slice bread. My problem is we keep treating Black people like we all like the same stuff. And whatever gets the popularity of the time becomes what all Black people like. And that's just simply not true. It's just simply not true. And I hate the narrative that, well, public school wish they could recruit like mass band, and mass band is trying to be like college bands. Like, no, it's not, because it's its own entity. It's its own entity. Don't tell me nothing about public school education and how I need to go about recruiting when you ain't had to send that IEP, daddy. Don't tell me shit about it. And I'm a cuss today because I'm technically unemployed during the summertime. But at the same time, I'm not going to talk about.
Just let me know when you cuss. I got you. There we go. I got that ready.
There you go. Thank you for the beat. But you can't tell me that Georgia mass band isn't still musical. And Memphis mass band is a typical crank up, in your face aggressive. And that's fine for where it's at. But let's not conflate the two. One doesn't belong in the other person's space. It just doesn't. It just does not. It does not. Don't come to me as a high school band director to talk about, your kids think your program sucks. Most of my kids don't. Most of my kids don't. And most of my kids, in some cases, if I ask them who won that battle, they're going to say Georgia Mass Band. And it's not even because I brainwashed them. It's just culturally, they might not understand what mass band is supposed to look like from their public school eye, and vice versa. I don't think anybody's going to get what they want out of this. This is just not. Let's just be honest with it. It's not going to happen.
I think the culture is like I say, it's for whoever wants to participate. That's why it's a matter of all opinions are welcome. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. Nothing's wrong with passing your opinion. Like just like you said, Crystal, like, and I think going to college, I had to realize that sometimes, 'cause I've been to all I knew my whole life is black schools. I said black schools, black, 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 black. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know no. We might have like one white boy, you know what I'm saying, but he just like us. I hate to say it that way. He talking and everything. Maybe a Mexican here there. But when I got to college, I started realizing like, damn, like this person literally is black. You know what I'm saying? Just grew up totally different. They're from Cali. They all they know is diversity. You know what I'm saying? He thinks that he loves concert music. He's telling me he loves how he's playing the circular fish different kind of ways and stuff like that. He's telling me all kind of stuff. That's cool. That's what you do. When we introduce them, we can introduce ourselves to different things. Like your kids may like the stuff that they do. School people, that's why kids go to different schools. They go to Berkeley. They go to different schools because you like what they like. Like I always laugh when I see that one person in Colorado band, like one black person in Colorado band, like that's crazy. He having the time of his life. You know what I'm saying? That shit be boring as hell to me. But that's me. That's what this person is growing up. Not saying he's wrong for doing what he doing is wrong. That's just what they like. And band is about preference. You know what I'm saying? So that's like me trying to let a core style band and a show style band battle and really want to tell who won when they doing two totally different things. Still the same band, but we can say sound and like you said in the third, but my halftime show, they tune it out. You know what I'm saying? They halftime show, they may be clapping and doing something. I don't know what they're doing on there. Like they may got like a damn prop may come out, you know what I'm saying? Or a little light show or something. Anyway, but it's what we do. So whatever we do and whatever you do your thing, we do our thing, you know what I'm saying? And everybody can have their opinion on it, but that don't make nobody wrong. Before the people who doing this and we like it.
Can I before you
Justin,
say something?
thank you for saying that, because that's not how it gets treated.
Exactly.
That's not how it gets treated. It gets treated like, oh, you don't know nothing about Crank It Up. And see, I'm from the north, so I get to hear all the shit. Sorry, I was supposed to tell you hit the beat. I get to hear all of it. Oh, you can't possibly know how to crank up. Oh, please, you don't know me. It don't matter what genre it is. And I like to believe that this is what true education is. True education is prepping you to be able to do any damn thing. So if I picked up mellophone in a summer band because I wanted to play mellophone.
You know what's gonna be crazy? You don't really find, I hate to be saying our, but y'all get what I mean. Like you said, us, what we do, and this is what we like to do. Really talking about what they do. You know what I'm saying? We don't. Oh, they say, you know what I'm saying? We talking about little Johnny, the way she holds his clarinet, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He steps it too wide. You don't really hear that, but you always hear like them trying to critique what we do. That's where the flag come from. It's like they'll tell a person who like, oh, maybe if there was more balance, maybe if they didn't overblow or like puff their cheeks. Some of the best players I know have bad armatures. You know what I'm saying? That now one can say, how you think they'll play if they had a correct armature? You know what I'm saying? I get it. I can transcend on both sides. But at the same time, this is what we do. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when y'all pass y'all comment and y'all give,
wait a minute, Justin.
It's probably because like, hold on. It's probably because one, a lot of people pass their comments probably never sit down and ever try to learn what it is that we do, or learn the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like Crystal, is different between you know something about HBCU band, should style band. So when you pass a comment and somebody like probably attack you about it, that's probably because they probably don't know. But there's a lot of people who pass their comment and don't know what the hell going on about it. Like just couldn't do it if they wanted to. There's a difference between you who can do it possibly versus somebody who just saying stuff and don't have no clue that it's meant to sound like that. You know what I'm saying? It's meant to be a loud song.
Portia done zoomed in.
I'm about to say, go ahead, Portia. You good?
I'm trying to figure out how to say this. So it's out there to the public. So whatever opinion somebody has is the opinion that they have. You can't tell people how to feel. You can't tell people how to comment on it. And the thing is that just like anything that the Legion do, anything that Purview do, anything that Southern do, well, never mind. That's a different story. Most of the time, there are going to be people who like it. Most of the time, there are going to be people who like it and people who don't. And that's okay. But I think what we're trying to understand is the visceral reaction that we get when we say we don't care for something related to mass band.
Portia, if somebody you walking down the street and let's say a woman tip your hat up off your head, what you gonna do? I already know the answer to that. You know what I'm saying? So
Physically touching me?
listen.
I don't know where you're going with this
I
because
can't-
nobody's
I can't-
physically
I can't hear
touching
you.
a mask band.
Okay, let me out. You can the same way you can pass your opinion, you can't tell somebody else how to react to your opinion. They can sit there, you tell me your opinion, I tell you my opinion. I've been saying earlier in the show, everybody has an opinion, and that's totally fine. I never attack anybody who have an opinion about something. It just the absurd stuff. Like it just be like, people, you know, somebody try to be disrespectful. Like I said earlier, they might say, no offense, but I mean, I didn't took offense out before you even said it. You know what I'm saying? I like something, but, and then they follow with something that just totally outrageous, man. Like it just.
Is the expectation that people don't comment on mask band?
No, they can comment. Anybody can comment. It's out to the public. They can comment.
I think, and let me ask you this. And first of all, let me first put it out there. This is the reason why I'm gonna always rock with Justin, because it don't matter whatever we're talking about. Justin is going to just come in and have the conversation. Most people won't, but Justin gonna come in and have a conversation, and I'm gonna always respect Justin for that. So I just want to make sure I put that out there. My question, Justin, is it the fact that you appreciate every comment, and not just you specifically, just the mass band culture in general? Is it that you appreciate or will accept every comment, or is it will you accept every comment that is meat riding? And you know exactly what I'm talking about, because the truth of the matter is, if anything goes against the opinion of the masses, that's where we have the issue. So, for instance, I've already said, and even Marcus, when I was watching Cruiser Conflict, because y'all went in on Marcus, like y'all didn't man a breath. But even I am like, hey, yes, Memphis had this, Memphis had that, but I appreciated Georgia sound better. And it's like, oh man, dog, you just hating, dog. You want that white mess. No, you didn't say that, but I'm just saying the thought process is there. And that's the point. That's my point. If you appreciate every comment, then appreciate every comment. When we were at, and I'm just going to use this as an example, when we were at PV, I'm well aware that everything that we did was not perfect, but I'm also well aware that there were things that we did that were good. And even in the things that we did that were good, a lot of people still had a negative comment against it. But then also people also said, hey, here are some of the things that you could do better because this wasn't good. And me and Rick and Hop would sit back in the room and say, hey, what do you think about this? We didn't go back and forth with everybody. We looked at it. We said, hey, maybe we should consider this. And therefore, that's how you got some different arrangements. That
and he got bumped up.
How we lose the
dang, what just happened? I don't know what just happened. Everybody anyway. So my point is this a we gotta meat ride everybody, or is this a hey, I really don't care about everybody's comments?
Can I interject in this?
Hold on. Luke, let's go back to Marcus on the show, right? You see how Marcus tried to, it's like with all stuff, man, I try to explain it. Like, I'm gonna try to write this down so I really get it. You see how when we like everything that we, the people, you know, give us around, we like about it. Last year when Georgia won, was everybody gave them the win for everything we liked and more. Different arrangements, power, aggression, sound and balance, this, that, and the third. The nigga shit, you know what I'm saying? But this year, when he tried to swing it and say they did all the balance and the HBC or the PWI style, he tried to act like they're not, they don't do what actually won him the battle last year. You know what I'm saying? That's why we got on him, like it was saying initially, like, don't try to run and go on the correct side now. When last year, when we was praising y'all for doing what we like, or like all-star band culture, that now you're trying to run from it and say y'all not doing it. No, my guy, you just got beat at whatever we like. Now, to say that, bro, I like you back to the opinion thing. All opinions is, everybody has their own opinion. But at the same time, it's like us last year. I mean, you, Luke, say we think New Orleans won. at the end of the day, what this is not no adjudicated thing. It's pretty much just opinion. When the masses say you lost in this game, like HBCU band, y'all talk about Southern Car all the time. When more people say you won versus you put a poll out there, but God, I hate to say it, you might not feel like it, you lost. You know what I'm saying? I've been on the side of not agreeing with the world. That don't make me wrong, but if the opinions of the people say you lost, you lost. And that's all it is. When the majority of people say you lost, it's like I'm not gonna try to change the world, man. If I believe in something, I'm gonna stick to what I do. I ain't gonna change for nothing. You know what I'm saying? But if the majority of people say, all right, well, it is what it is. When it's not an adjudicated thing.
I just want to say, did you just say that playing clean is a PWI thing? Is that what you said?
No. When I said what I'm saying,
some was a PWI thing.
No. What I'm saying is like let's think about like the Bethune. Let's think about Bethune, how they play versus how Southern play. You get that? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey, hey, Justin. Hey, real talk. Can I say this though?
Yeah.
Georgia sounded better last year.
Okay. Okay. Cool. And what else they did? They also brought their noise and their smoke too, right?
No, but that's no. So when I was explaining my portion earlier,
I think New Orleans sounded better last year.
No. I didn't. No. I didn't. No. I'm not speaking about who won or lost.
Oh, you talking about?
I'm comparing Georgia.
Yeah, okay.
I'm comparing Georgia versus Georgia. Georgia this year versus last year. Georgia, in my opinion.
We said they sounded good this year. They just got beat up. We never said they sounded bad. They just got whooped. They got beat up. So
No. So no. But what I'm saying, what I'm overall saying is, in my opinion, Georgia sounded better last year. In my opinion, Georgia had their lower brass is just phenomenal last year. Like, it was overpowering upper brass. But I prefer the Georgia last year that battled New Orleans than this year that battled Memphis like this weekend. All I'm saying is overall, and I have to agree with what Crystal and everybody else saying, it's like once you give an opinion, nigga, your mama get called a hoe. You know what I'm saying? You ain't shit. Like it's like, damn, like even if it's respectful to like say, bro, like I don't like that approach. Well, shit, you was trash in high school and middle school, and your mama sucked donkey balls. It's like, damn, bro. Like all I said was I didn't like the approach. Like it gets.
That's so true. Can I? I'm gonna interject because I'm baking and I don't want to burn up my stuff.
Hey, give me a slice of whatever you baking, but go ahead.
All right. So one, my husband calls this the old attaboy, and this is what it sounds like to me. Mass band wants an old attaboy. They're the brand new hot kid on the block, the new school kid in school. They got fresh kicks on. Everybody's jogging their style, whatever. I'm just saying, y'all the popular kid on the block. And when the popular kid come to school and their outfit ain't as fresh as it was the day before, and somebody like, oh, what you got on today is trash, then it's almost like nobody ever gave them any props. It's like it all gets erased, and all they can hear is somebody said that my clothes look trashy today. And it eradicates anything you ever said good. It's that old attaboy thing. Public school teachers, band directors been dealing with this for decades. We go to a game, the crowd boo it, you go back to the drawing board, whether you agree with the boos or not, you pick yourself up and you try again. You don't get on social media and talk about how the crowd don't know what they're talking about. So Justin, I agree with you when you say, like, if the crowd say this is what it is, that's what it is. But my only problem is I feel like sometimes in this mass band discussion, if you're not saying everything is right, then nothing was ever right and you're wrong. And it gets canceled out. It cancels everything out. It's like, oh, you said my mama a hoe. And then it turns into, you don't know nothing about life. You don't know nothing about music. And it doesn't always, I guess when I say it doesn't always deserve that type of response. It's almost like we can't talk to each other anymore. It's almost like you can't have a different opinion anymore. Justin, you right. Sometimes you say something and people say it's trash or whatever. I disagree with you. But I guess what gets on my nerves about this whole conversation is y'all are not bullied. You're just getting the treatment that people been getting for the past 50, 60 years. You're not getting bullied. You're just not. You're not getting bullied. Nobody's bullied because you know what? Numbers don't lie in y'all programs. Support doesn't lie. Ticket sales don't lie. Views don't lie. And mass band is getting all of those things. It don't lie. But I tell you what do get where we lie is trying to sugarcoat shit sometimes in the name of popularity. The popular kid isn't usually the smartest kid on the block. They're usually not the most educated, and sometimes they're not the one that's going to be the one that's the boss of everybody. That's the fact. But if you ask that kid that was not popular in high school if they ever thought that people would actually like anything they did, they would say no. They take those punches. You get picked on, you get bullied, you get beat up, you get called, whatever, and you keep doing what it is that you do. I just don't think mass band has been around long enough yet where you can brush the dirt off your shoulders without it hurting so much, if that makes sense. I think y'all still not, no. In comparison to a lot of different ensembles, it hasn't.
The ensembles that we don't want to get carried.
It hasn't. It just hasn't.
I try to tell people this ain't college band. Like, you know what I'm saying? We can wear shades. We can like rock. We can do crazy stuff. Like we can. It's the culture that we created and the stuff that we like. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it gets supported that way. Like even when people try to like break it down, the instrumentation in some of these all-star bands be all off. 52, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like 40 F-horns, that is not bad. That's not it don't make sense.
98.
Well, my question is
Hear me out. So like what
is it a brag? I mean, that's anybody who want to show up.
And that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. It's different. That's what I'm pointing out the differences in what we can do and still have fun with it versus what they do. So when people try to like,
but there's nothing wrong with it.
Huh?
But there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
I just think sometimes, Justin, you're defending. I think sometimes, Justin, you're defending an argument that isn't even an argument.
No, bro, Kirsten, you'll be surprised. Some stuff people say, like the same way. It's like I wanted to tell you this when you was talking. You were trying to talk. When you was like with somebody to thank you for your opinion. It's almost like imagine with somebody with no musical nothing. I think Portia said this a while back. People who have the pull in the band where you ain't got nobody to school, you got nobody degree, but they're trying to tell you how to do what you do, right? You know what I'm saying? You see how offended you would get at that? You know what I'm saying? Chris, imagine.
That's my whole point. Not anymore.
Hold on, but at one point they get offended. Now that's how sometimes they may feel when you're trying to tell them to do something, or not people they're trying to get critique from people critiquing something that I ain't saying you don't know nothing about, but it's like damn, like you know that's how they may look at you. Not in the same way. You may be right as possible, but they don't know you or they don't know where you come from. So the same way you might take somebody who's telling you something and got no type of score, don't have none, no type of know-how, nothing. That's how they might take it.
Justin. That's been happening to band directors since band director been band directoring. At this point, we really don't go to work or don't do this thing because we care that somebody thinks that what we do isn't good. That's why I said, I don't think y'all been around long enough where you just start to brush that shirt off your shoulder. I think it still stings because you're still trying to find your place. Yes, you are. You're still trying to find your place in the respectability politics. And that's what it is.
Let me say this, and this is something I just thought about in the process of y'all going about y'all's conversation. I also want you to be fair, and I think being fair on both sides, the mass band side, and I guess the non-mass band side. I don't know how to put it, but
other people.
The others. There we go. But we also got to be fair in the fact that mass band itself has changed. Yes. It ain't what I remember our all-star band and mass band to be. So I think that what Crystal's saying has some merit, because not only is it new, the current version of it is new as well. Because when I remember All-Star Band, because it wasn't even called Mass Band, it was called All-Star Band. When I remember All-Star Band, it was marching, it was field show, it was the All-Stars from, different high school programs. And I think that now it has kind of,
Here we go again.
older than me or my 8-year-olds in the Memphis joint, but my age are like, hey, this ain't what I remember from, back when I remember All-Star Band. So I think that at some point too, on both sides, I think that we're looking at it from a lens that we remember. And I think, Justin, on your side, you're looking at it from where we're doing something new. So because of that, I'm looking at Burger. But because of that, it's kind of like this is new, and I feel attacked because y'all don't understand us. And I'm like, I think we kind of do, but we kind of, you see what I'm saying? So I think we got to be fair on both sides. I think my personal opinion.
I was in the early line. I line with literally all like the section leaders and the good people from every high school who made that All-Star Band with the county. I don't think that it's so much very stupid. I don't think what y'all did and what this is even the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it is. I mean, it may seem like the same thing, but it's not. Like you said, that was strictly high school. Even we talk about the old, I think 99 2000 All-Star Band and all this put together. This is different. This like Mass Band All-Star Band that we do now is like literally made up of any and everybody. 8 to 80 blind triple plays. You can blow that hole, you can play that bit, come jump. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the difference. But at the same time, I think All-Star Band have changed in the last couple of years because like we start playing the different music. And that's why I'm really open to opinions, Crystal, because like now, if you listen to some All-Star Band between like 14 and 16, it was really crank that hoe, blow that hoe. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to it now, they actually playing something. Like we SWAT, all kind of songs we playing now. You know what I'm saying? So it's actually evolving, but if you're not giving it a chance, and just like shunning every bit of it, you know what I'm saying? You may not even be able to realize it. So yeah.
I'm just like, why do they matter? That's my argument is why do they matter? Why do they matter? If you're gonna do what it is that you do unapologetically at the end of the day, why does what somebody else believe matter? That's the only exactly. That's the only thing. I don't even care about Mass Band changing. But Justin, I'm probably older than everybody on the screen. I've seen band change 1,000 different ways in 1,000 different genres at this point in my life.
Older than me, Crystal. I mean, God dang, you ain't that much older than me. You were marching with me and you when I was in the band. Come on now, golly. Anyway, go ahead.
Man, I was some of y'all. I had my second master's degree. Y'all still in school. I'm old and I own it, but I just don't understand why there seems to be this over concern with trying to get people who don't do this thing to like it.
It don't. Nobody don't care about the opinion when somebody says something negative about it. I swear. People can care less. Let me say the only time it matters. The only time it matters is like when you get like, I ain't gonna say like a college director, that somebody like or like a high school director like trying to stop their kids from participating because they don't agree. That's the only thing that we would care because it's.
But see, y'all don't even listen to that conversation because that conversation has come up, and some people, I won't say Justin, some people don't hear even why some directors have to say no. I'm just gonna throw it out there because it's public knowledge. We've talked about this.
Yeah,
but see, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what people told me. Crystal, you lying. They can't do that. I'm like, you ain't sat in my principal office where they like do it and see what happened to that certificate. And y'all like, y'all no, that can't happen. How did just the same as I don't know what it takes to run a mass band, but I do know what it takes to run an all-star band. And I can absolutely say that the laws and regulations of how you do it are just different. Yeah, they are. And the rules of engagement are different because it serves two different things. One is community-based. Community-based stuff can do a lot of things different than public school. That's a fact. That's a fact. Try to walk in a school without your ID in some of these districts and see what happened. You ain't getting past the front door. My husband hates that aspect of his job, that he has to have his license just to get in the front door. That's not the same as going to the local rec center and cranking up. It is what it is. It doesn't mean it's bad or good. It just means it's different. What drives me nuts is when someone tries to tell one side what it takes versus the other side. You don't know. You just don't know.
Again, I just want to make sure that I clarify, because I really think the root of it is, and Burger, I'm just going Burger being Burger, but the root of it, I really think, because I don't even think it's people who just hate mass band. Because again, I don't hate mass band. I don't. I really don't. Again, I like to hear cranking up. I really do. With all that being said, I'm going to stand on what I said as far as when it comes to cranking up, there are certain aspects that I want to hear. But in all of that, Justin, I really think that like Berger said it, you said it, like the opinions don't really matter. But I feel like it's funny if the opinions don't matter when the opinions are against the mass. That's when the biggest like response is. If they don't matter, then if it's against the masses, then all right, you feel that way. So let it be. If everybody thinks that Memphis won, all right. So if a random dude comes up and says that Georgia won, oh no, dog, you just a hater, dog. Memphis was no, just say that. All right, you got it. Now your argument with Marcus is a completely different argument. I ain't talking about Marcus. I'm just talking about a general person. Like for me, I've already told you where I stood. But I also said that I felt like New Orleans won last year.
Like, why? Like, that's what anybody, you know what I'm saying? The boom box, the biggest side, you know what I'm saying? You think that person won because I like the argument. I like when people be trying to defend them on stupid shit like, bro, you seriously gonna run like Marcus. It's like, bro, like, you really, you know what I'm saying, really think y'all won, and that's cool, but opinion is opinion. That's just what happened. I was on the side of the majority. We don't really care about negative opinion. Like I said, the only opinion to me in all-star band that's effect is like when you get people who like really sit in positions and are like take people like not, yeah, people doing some evil stuff out here, but like some real evil stuff. And like it's sad that because they participate in the mass band, like a band directors don't want to let people use horns and like it's so like it's and I get it, but it's like
I gotta let you use my school resources. I'm confused.
Hold on. Down here with it. Down here,
I got something to see.
Down here, hold on. Down here a little different too. So my thing is this. So if we from New Orleans, it's always been a thing. Like we don't have to like. We can take our horn on whenever we want to. We can have them over the whole damn summer sometimes. As long as we got it signed out, this, that, and the third. I ain't saying schools don't pay attention, but it's because look at this. Where y'all think these horns come from? You think everybody on the horn like that for real? Come on, let's be for real. But let's start another day. Like Johnny can take his horn home and practice all summer. You know what I'm saying? In the backyard and shoot the shit, put a little stop in the horn. But as soon as he want to take that same horn and go participate with his friends down the street, the mass band is a problem. That's whole shit. I don't care how you put it. You know what I'm saying? That's whole shit. If you're responsible for his horn, he's responsible for his horn. That's whole shit. I don't care how you put it because you don't want him participating in an ensemble that you don't agree with. So you gonna take his horn? If you care about him, yeah.
But Justin.
Don't tell me quiet. Don't tell me about the school responsible and stuff because he's responsible no matter what. He break the horn or whatever. That's his fault. But don't tell me.
No. So hold on. You know what? I'm the calm one tonight. Let me just say that shit. But let me speak about real life experiences that I've experienced as a band director in Houston thus far. What I'm telling you is I've had fine arts directors told me Nah, bruh, because they stole shit before. So again, the silo or the experiences, what you're saying is happening in New Orleans, may not be happening everywhere, bro. And I think that's the difference. So kind of like your truth, your absolute truth is this: New Orleans is doing something different. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, we just operate different down here.
But watch this. But
We
but what
have
what I'm saying is I've had band directors tell me straight up, bruh, one of my students was touched and they ain't never going back.
Mm-hmm.
So you think like let's be real.
We talked about that. I know. I definitely.
And Byron has
Byron
something.
had something to say. That's all I was trying to get in.
All right. I want to touch up on a couple of things we all talked about. One, I'm just gonna go backwards. We talking about instrument distribution. I'm kind of in the mass band world, kind of, sort of, but more so, the instrument thing is kind of tricky. For one, you could have it's a liability issue. For one, you don't know if this person's gonna return your instrument. You don't know if they're gonna destroy it. How can you hold somebody accountable for an instrument that's not even your student?
No, I'm not talking about that aspect, bro. I'm talking about like the student. Like, and people tell the students who you assign instrument to that if you play with them, we take you on and we don't come watch back from me. I ain't talking about. I understand the liability of letting a stranger use a school instrument. That's I get that. I'm talking about your student, not the right person.
All right, so I'm gonna touch up on that. Hold on, Corey. So, like,
go ahead.
For me personally, I can only speak on myself. I'm okay with my students using instruments. However, I know different situations at different cities. I'm not speaking on Baton Rouge because that's not the issue here. But different cities have issues sometimes to where they say your fine arts administrator saying no, they cannot bring this instrument. At the end of school year, you have to turn in this instrument. Then you may have special situations where they don't have an issue with that, but the issue comes in sometimes when you know how you say on the band director side, some band directors badmouth an all-star bands to the kids, right? Some people have it the other way around. The all-star mass band is badmouthing the band director and badmouthing everything they're doing, and basically deterring the kid from wanting to participate in the original band that he came from, to where they believe, okay, well, the mass band better, so fuck what you saying, fuck everything. So it's my bad. So it's like
I'm all these choices. I don't care. Go ahead, you good.
So it's like some band directors might detour from that. I'm not saying I do that because I haven't ran across that situation yet, but I've heard different situations from different directors. Because I'm kind of neutral. I'm like in the middle. I kind of listen to everybody, see what they say, kind of formulate how I feel.
All I'm saying is that, but that's why, Justin, I keep saying when you said earlier, what can we offer? If we sat at the table, bro, and was like, all right, can you offer me this? All right, do you need instruments to use? Okay, I'm not gonna give you my best. I'll lend 4 trumpets, and if something happens to these trumpets, you're gonna get them fixed, and these people are gonna be held accountable for them. I'm not even tripping on that, but I need to make sure that my high school kids are protected. When I'm telling you, bro, Justin, I've sat in meetings after I had opened up my school to one. The dude was like, "Nah, fam, don't do it." And I'm telling you why. And there's a plethora of reasons why the man gave it. But at the end of the day, in HISD, you get paid every other Wednesday. I love my every other Wednesday. And at the end of the day, it's like, I want to see y'all win. And I think that's some of what's frustrating me is because in the beginning of the show and before the show, we was like, say, bro, how can we approach this where we're not hating on what they're doing, but honestly, from our point of view, from the educators, help them honestly be better. The truth is we want to be better. We want to see music education be better because regardless, now we say as a part of the culture, we black. So it's a representation of it all. That's my thing.
I'm going to say that I understood what you were saying. There was a point where you went very robot, but I think we got the gist of it. Go ahead, Justin.
Can I say this? I just want to say this. I do like that I heard some woodwinds in this battle. I'm going to give a positive. It was some woodwinds. Okay, praise the Lord. They exist. It won't, I like that. What?
In Memphis had Flagsworth. Did you see them?
They had, what you say?
They had Flagsworth.
They had one at this battle.
Oh, I ain't see that. I see
Hey,
one.
Portia, hey, look, you gotta give them their flowers where they are.
No, at a previous video I seen they had 4, so I kind of feel like it should have been an all or nothing because she was over there by herself looking real. See, I won't even gonna mention this. They got flags in Memphis, so shout out to them. That's how I'm gonna say that.
There we go.
I think I just could go against the whole thing because I know it's like Zach Neely from Zach. I know Zach Neely. I think from Columbia High School. Yeah, he let kids use horns. You know what I'm saying? He's like one of the band directors that participate in mass band. There's so many band directors that do participate in mass band or all-star band, whatever you want to call it. Summer band that when somebody else is not participating, it's okay to not participate, but like don't like hate or like put that on your kids because they want to. You know what I'm saying? Your kids, sometimes I hate to say this. Sometimes this is a funny joke I seen online. Sometimes these all-star bands, these bands that we create, be the best band that people ever played in their whole life. And that's another reason why some people be hating on it, bro. Like I hate to say it be the best band they played their whole life. Probably the biggest band and sometimes the best band, man. But I don't know, man. We all have points like Carl said. I think we just come to the table and just talk about it. But at the end of the day, people gonna do what they want to do regardless. I love the all-star band culture, you know what I'm saying? I love when people disagree. I like the arguments, but the shit be funny lit. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you can't lose the battle with the bitch. You know what I'm saying? Sit beside the weed smoke, you had no problem. It was your people, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't know.
It was something that I actually wanted to bring up earlier, and I'm still gonna bring it up. But you brought this up, and then I just saw what Berger said in the comments. I don't necessarily agree that it's always because of the fact that the high school band or the band is trash. Sometimes the band director has a different philosophy in the standard that does not agree with what the mass band is producing. And I think that you got to be fair on that end. Now, just because that student may not like it, that is not the same argument of you saying that band is trash. So, for instance, let me give you an example. I was listening to Crucial Conflict the other day. The young brother from Alabama who said that his band is a predominantly core style band, but he watches mass band. Now, with that being said, because I don't know what band he marches for, but I'm going to use that as an example. His band may be a band that goes to festival and gets straight ones in marching band. Now, does that mean his band is trash? No, but that does mean that his director has a different philosophy on how they approach marching band. And they may not agree with what happens in mass band. And so those things do happen. Now, are all bands great? No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that at all. Some bands are just trash. And that is what it is. But on the flip side of that, that does not mean that every kid who enjoys or comes to mass band is coming from a trash program. Some programs just have a different philosophy. And I do, Berg. I know what you mean by trash, but I'm just saying that's not everybody. Everybody's situation. The other thing I was gonna say is this: when y'all were talking about the opinions of others and people, why watch the video, so on and so forth. And I said it in the comments as far as Berger is concerned. I say because you put it out for the masses. If you put it out for the masses, people are gonna watch it, whether it's people who understand what they're watching or not. Here's my example to that. My wife, and I'm gonna bring her up. My wife likes watching mukbangs. I don't know why. I think that is the grossest thing that you can ever watch besides Dr. Pimple Popper. I think between mukbangs and Dr. Pimple Popper, those are trash. But while people enjoy watching that, it's on the World Wide Web for everybody to see in a social media space. So it's people in them comments who's like, why is this fat lady sitting up here eating all this food? It's high cholesterol. This is disgusting. And then there's people in there who like, man, that looks good. The sound of you crunching on that fried chicken is amazing. Like, so you're going, because it's in the mass space, you're going to get those comments on both sides. So that's all I'm gonna say. So there we go. Boom. I'm backing
I
out.
just want to say one more thing. I think I like, from what I've seen so far, the auxiliaries better last year than this year.
Yes, all of them. They just say yes.
Portia trying to be positive. I mean, but let me ask you this, Portia, and this is the Portia question. Was there anything positive that we have said during this whole show besides what you just said?
I don't know what I said. If what I said was positive, I said I like the auxiliaries better last year than this year. You know,
I'm just saying, because I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing, Portia.
No, we just hadn't talked about that, and I want to say that because you made me watch that video. So that was one of my takeaways.
Okay, all right. Well, that's fine. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since you want the auxiliary, since you want,
I've been positive all night, bro. I've been positive all night.
I feel like we all been positive in here. But since you want to bring that up, somebody asked about the young brother being back in front again in Georgia.
We're not having this discussion this week.
Okay. Well, see, I tried. You know,
what is there to talk about? What we gonna say that we didn't say last week?
I don't even remember what we said last week. I need to go back and look at the tape. I don't remember.
What's the point?
What did they ask you a specific question?
No, I think I can't, because I would have to go all the way back up. But somebody was saying, you know, I think they just brought him up. Just the young brother.
He was there last year. He there this year.
Doing a good job.
I'll say this. Let me say this. This is not a male or female thing. This is, I think that when he was in the front, he was doing too much. I think when the young lady got in the front, there was a little bit more calm and a little bit more structure to the counts that I appreciated. I think that he was doing some counts that I feel like were really excessive versus when he switched off with the young lady. That was it. That was my only takeaway from that whole thing. There we go. That's all I got to say. Do I think he can't dance? That's not what I said. I'm just saying I felt like he did too much on some of his counts.
To that point, even also in dance team in general, another thing which I like about it, they do a lot of counts that some colleges wouldn't do. That's like, you know, the point of band, you know, you expressing, like they have a count. I've seen, you know what I'm saying, I became a damn dance fan for real for all these years, where they actually laid on the ground, came back up, and was fun. It was so fire. But I see a lot of people like trying to shade them dudes, you know what I'm saying? Nobody on here doing it. I'm just saying in general from like the comments. It's like, damn, bro, like being open-minded about it, to me, I have no problem with them dudes dancing. You know what I'm saying? I remember when Barrow, Alexander, you know, the All-Star Band first introduced the dudes that, and we thought it was gonna be so crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, boys, and we don't want the boys. We thought the reaction of the band was gonna be crazy. When they actually came in practice one day, you know what I'm saying? When I tell you the band did not even focus on them, they were so locked in on what's going on. And me personally, as well as I can see this guy in front leading these girls, I definitely see the pretty ass female right here. I can see the one behind, I can see the one. So I think it just be a matter of like, so when people like just try to hone in on like the dudes dancing, yeah, they crack the damn joke, but them dudes be working just as hard. And my thing is too, like, it's twofold. A lot of these males be having a crazy effect on dance teams, period. You know what I'm saying? They be coaching and teaching the girls these counts and just putting their spin on it. So all in all, I still don't see nothing wrong with it. He's doing a good ass job, and I ain't never see. And one thing I do appreciate about the males in the mass band, I haven't seen nothing that's like really like vulgar or revealing. So make you kind of feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? They dress the same. Sometimes they have on one piece, you stand the third. And if you're looking for it, I think that'd be the problem sometimes. Now I guess it's a damn 6'2" male in front of a damn dance team. Of course you're gonna see him. He not hard to see, but I don't find nothing wrong with it. Doing a great job. I think sometimes people try to find we get it. It's males dancing. They doing everything the females do. I definitely get it, but sometimes like it just be people we won't bring it up to try to be funny sometimes, and now be the case. I probably wouldn't tell them dudes nothing in their faces. They're seeing them, but it's another story for another day. Not saying nobody down here did it, but I'm just like pointing out the obvious. That's something in summer band. Males are welcome. Now to the point y'all said last week, they got to do that Elizabeth City on the dance team over there. You know what I'm saying? Our males go infiltrate these college teams. Y'all talked about it last week. They already doing it. So will on the bigger or the more known teams, I don't know, but I don't know, man. It's just,
Yeah, I'm not. And I didn't plan on staying on this long. I just brought it up because Portia brought up the auxiliaries. So I just wanted to get her thoughts. But no, I don't think that he did a bad job. Like I said, I just think that I think some of the counts just was a little extra when he was throwing the counts that he was choosing to throw versus when the young lady was in the front. And as a whole, when it comes to the Georgia counts, and maybe I was misinterpreting this. Somebody, UC Dance, you can help me with this. Dang, this is one of the times I wish Maya was on the show, but I know Portia, you can give me some insight on this. Is it just me, or was like a lot of those counts involving like gun shooting movements?
That's the style of it. Like you can do anything. They got guns, they got punching. It's up. Portia, can't hear you.
Yeah, Portia, now you submitted yourself. Now you got to go in and come out. Because I'm sorry, babe. But because I know you got something to say. Yeah, go in and come out because I wanna hear what you got to say on that.
You gotta say too. But I know like it's creative as hell. Like you know what I'm saying? It's that's what you get to do in you know what I'm saying? So bad. Like it's all it was crazy is you starting to see, let's say the punch. Jackson State got a punch in one of their counts there's fire. I think it's tight too. So like it's kind of moving the needle. It's being different. Now the guns and stuff like that, giving somebody like it's a little too vulgar, but we're having fun. They're being creative. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even think it's a point of it's a vulgar thing. For me,
Can y'all hear me?
It's an odd look. For me, it just that whole movement of pushing up like that, and I just thought it was an odd look, and to see it in multiple counts, I thought was just. It was
I have a question. Are there high school students on these squads?
Some of them.
Yeah, so they get on the ground, humping the ground. Some of this stuff is a little bit too much for people, kids, in my opinion. It's a lot that I saw that I don't feel like. Last year, I didn't feel this way as much. I think to me, it was Maya and I talked about it. We saw some dope stuff. Like really to me would be growing these students. It's a lot more raunchy on the ground. Ooh, that's a child. That's the stuff that I see more of this year. And my thing is, if they take that back to their high school and the wrong person see that, like an administrator, that may be an issue. So
I can speak for our team here in the water. I know, and it's actually on YouTube. You go watch Making a Team. One of the things that the coach first pointed out, she was like, nothing that y'all do here, do not bring it back to your high school. Not a 5, 6, 7, 8. Like we get some inspiration come from it, but nothing they stress that. Another thing too, the parents be deeply involved in the kids participating on some of these teams. You know what I'm saying? Look, the people who be in the front, a lot of parents with their cell phones. You know what I'm saying? So to that point, I think in most teams, but most of it, because all the teams ain't pop out yet, 2 portions. The battle on the 30, you'll be able to see everybody. But a lot of the parents, approve of their kids. You gotta get high school, you gotta get permission slip to be on some of these teams. So if something's happening on the team and you see something together, they trust me, their parents know it's been explained and expressed already. So yeah, that's what that. But I know they tell them not to bring some of the stuff back to the high school team. And some of the stuff I wouldn't want them doing on the high school team. You know what I'm saying?
But if it's not acceptable on a high school team
I'll
for a high school student to do on their team, why is this acceptable? My biggest complaint, I don't care. They can blow their listen, I don't care about mass band one way or the other. I watch it because that's the instructions for me to remain on this show, guys. That's why I watch it. I do. That's it. That's it, and that's all. I just came to dance for y'all. That's it. But what I'm saying is, my major concern is that it should be grown people, grown, all grown. So whatever you decide to do it, because you grown. But my concern is that if it's not acceptable to do at your high school, you get to take a break from those morals in the summertime and do it then. Because I mean, still on the internet, you humping the ground. I saw some people crawling and humping, and I got concerned about that.
Some college back there, they help the drum. They be humping the drum in the stands. Come on,
grown people. I don't agree. You talking about high schools?
I thought college. She's talking college.
Those are grown people. Those are grown. Those are adults. They make their own decisions. I'm talking about high schools.
I feel you, Portia. Like I said, their parents be knowing they be on the team, and I don't really. You gonna look at my battle this weekend. There was a lot going on, but
signing off on the choreography. My thing is that if it can't,
I get it. If you can't do it in high school, why do it? I get it.
I didn't say whether boys. I didn't have an opinion on whether boys or girls. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. It's the guys are here. That's not my opinion. My opinion. I don't care if it's a boy, a girl, a tree. If it's in high school, it should not be on the ground crawling.
Can I interject with this? Because I'm about to go. Because I'm flying to ATL. I'm gonna be in ATL tomorrow. I'm leaving like 6 a.m. Huh?
You coming to the battle this weekend?
No, I got a conference to do. If I didn't have a conference to do, then I would have been there. I got to go where the bills get paid. So I'm actually coming right back. But Berger said something that I do think is a good point. You know, are we going to have outrage for the boys and how they dance versus girls? I think we are missing the forest for the trees. It's age. It's the age that's the problem. I don't want my son humping the ground. I don't want my daughter humping the ground. The end. I'm a parent. I know Berger's a parent. And I think sometimes from a male perspective, we wink at one thing, but if it was our own, we have an issue. And I'm like, you either gonna have an issue like it was your own daughter, or you gonna shut up and think that it's cool. And if we all ask that question, there ain't no black dad on this earth that's gonna be like, yeah, I want my daughter mixed in with the 21, 22-year-old bodies, even though their body might match, and they gonna feel good about it. Don't y'all lie to me. Don't y'all lie to me. I don't want none of y'all to lie to me and say that y'all think it's okay. I don't want a boy humping the ground. I don't want a girl humping the ground. The end. I'm all for adults being around adults.
That's my point. That's what I've been saying. That's been my concern.
I'm gonna say this. When we had Jada on last week, when she said what she said, when she was saying about, you know, and she's a college student now, when she was saying about how when she's in rehearsal and they're saying be more sexy, be more sexual, so on and so forth, that really struck a nerve for me. And it struck a nerve for me because a lot of these high school babies are looking at these college babies, and that's the instruction that they're getting in college. So if that's the instruction they're getting in college, then what information are being transferred to these high school babies, which again, for me,
if they have good coaching, it's not being transferred.
And this is the thing, Justin, and this is not an attack on you. So I want to make sure, no, I haven't said it yet, but this isn't an attack on you. I just want to make this very clear. When videographers are recording high school bands, I get really cringy when they start recording the dancers based on the level of moves and dances that they are doing, or the outfits that they're wearing, or coupled with both. Because at some point, we still have to realize that these are young people. These are young ladies. And again, the information that Jada gave us on last week really opened my eyes to the fact that this is what they're saying to these young ladies. These are what they're saying to these dancers.
Well, that's also, hold on, that's also one squad. That's one squad. I don't know. Well, I know some of it happens, but it may not be to that degree.
I don't think it is either. Like, and I know what I say. Even I don't. And like, if you go look at my channel, I record every fucking thing from like the little DD4 style girls, like the major community, the dance community, and some things I know. Like I watch. Just read the comments. I know it's sometimes some stuff that I deem inappropriate. Like I know, like sometimes I don't really gonna care for recording, like seeing dancers dance without tights on. You know what I'm saying? Like some stuff that they be sending these girls out with is just unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? And like in some competitions, they'll disqualify a team for like appearance. So I think people are more keen to it, and I think just a matter of how I look at it. I don't try to get into dance in that spectrum, because when she said that wasn't nothing new to me, Luke. You know what I'm saying? About like how you say you dance with emotion, sound like, be more I guess flamboyant and like feel yourself, because you can understand, like when you understand dance, it's like you expressing yourself in different ways. And I know sometimes, like I did camps this past summer, I'm posting them next week. Like some of the slow counts, they don't teach to middle school girls. You know what I'm saying? They don't, because they probably just can't operate in that capacity to do some of these counts. And so this is different rules. I'm not gonna say it's every team, but I just guess like the same way, like one wouldn't understand why we cursing football, why the football coach cussing at him, this and the third. Something that we might understand, like when females in dance. I don't try to understand, you know what I'm saying? But I know when some stuff is just deemed like inappropriate. And I know some stuff that, like, if I don't do it, I probably won't post it. You know what I'm saying? I'll be crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to post it, but I don't really deal with that a lot in the teams that I film, but I definitely understand that it's a thing. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff is just not appropriate for a certain age, but in dance, when she was everything that she was saying last week, she had some strong points, but it wasn't new to me, probably because I heard it already, and I just it's dance. And then I think that when you talk about the male aspect of it, like somebody posted one time, like they don't tell the males like on Broadway or like who's doing classical when the guys have tights on with no shirts on, like just doing like the more contemporary style dance, anything, and they be dancing with damn tights on. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of rules that dance, and it can get tricky. But and then when people pass their comment about it, I definitely understand all aspects of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just tough to kind of regulate. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I can really go. We can go further than that, but I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. Because Crystal in there, I don't know what she eating on, but it looks delicious. I don't know. Is that cornbread? Now is that homemade or is that Jiffy? Which one is it? Now I got that. If it's Jiffy. Okay, she made that straight out there.
It's homemade.
Okay.
Don't do me like that.
Okay, I just had to ask, I'm just, So in conclusion, because I didn't actually went longer than what I've done on any other show in a long time. But in conclusion, I kind of want to try to sum this all up. And Justin, tell me if I'm wrong, or anybody tell me if I'm wrong here. Mass band, we already know, is here to stay. That's not changing. And I already know that, and I know that, I accept that, and I think everybody in the panel, everybody in the chat, everybody who's gonna watch us later, we know it ain't going nowhere. So we need to stop acting like it is. So, but in the same token, we also got to be understanding and know in the fact that it's gonna be judged either way. And if it's going to be judged either way, you can't get salty about it because it don't go in the favor in which the masses goes. If 582 people say that New Orleans got their butt whooped, not saying that, just using that as an example. If one person says, nah, I think New Orleans won, don't be like, oh, no, you like that white man. Don't be doing that. We can't do that. That is their opinion. All right. So I think that we covered that part. Now, if you ask them why do you feel they won, that's a good question. But whatever their rationale is, you got to allow them to be able to give it to them, unless they hit you with a Marcus Daddy and they changing up their tune from the way they were last year. That's something different. See, I'm telling you, I heard everything. On the flip side of all of that, I think again there are still things that we could all take from each other and learn from each other. One is the infrastructure of how mass band works. But on the Crystal was like, she out. I'm eating this cornbread. But one is the infrastructure of how mass band works and using that information to be able to maybe feed into and build some high school programs. On the flip side of that, getting the cohesiveness from the mass band programs to maybe get better funding, get instruments or some type of usage of instruments that could be from a sponsorship. Maybe also getting facilities by working with certain districts. And at the end of the day, understanding that regionally, every situation is different. What happens in New Orleans and they mass bands and at they schools may not be what's happening in Houston. What's happening in Memphis may not be what's happening in Georgia or Alabama or Virginia. And by the way, I saw the North Carolina mass band. The one thing that I'm going to say about that very quickly, because I really didn't like some of the side footage that I heard, but one of the things that I will say about that very quickly is the fact that so far, North Carolina was North Carolina. They didn't step out of being North Carolina. Because to me, the drum line sounded like A&T. The band sounded A&T-ish. And except for maybe one or two songs. But then again, I didn't like the camera angle they were coming from. And I will once again say, Virginia, as a person who came from Norfolk,
it ain't finna sound like what you're going to sound like.
Because I seen this on the Facebook. I gotta say it like an old person. I seen it on the Facebook. One of the problems that Virginia is going to have is the fact that you're trying to be a program that does not exist in Virginia. If you would stick to a Virginia sound that welcomes the people from Virginia, because look at here, I'm gonna be real.
Just call it the band known as, because that ain't
no. Everybody that Virginia shit ain't gonna work. And that's how it might feel. That's how it might feel.
I sat down. I had to really process this for a second.
Disingenuous, Justin.
It's not going to be, because I'm not going to say it's not going to be successful. Let me put that out there. Anything can be successful. But what I'm saying is it's not going to be to the way that people would like it to be or anticipate it to be, because you have Virginia people who have went to other schools. By far, I'm not going to take that away. There are Virginia people who have went to A&T. There are Virginia people who have went to Southern. There are Virginia people who have went to Jackson. Not a lot, but there are people who have went to those places. The majority of the people who are going to embody a Virginia mass band are people from Virginia or the surrounding areas. And that is a cohesive sound that is never going to change. It's just not. So when you come in and trying to put something together that don't sound like Virginia, people are going to they're not going to rock with it. They just not.
Yes, they are, because they're going to blow that hole, and the culture that Justin is referring to is going to like it. It is not going to sound like Virginia. They're going to blow that. They're going to blow. I ain't never heard it, but I ain't never heard it, but I know they're going to blow that hole. But all I know is anybody that's in there that's part of the Smart Legion, get that out your system before you show up on July 30th. Thank you.
I'm just I disagree. I slightly agree with you, Portia, but I slightly disagree with the simple fact that yes, there are going to be people in there who want to blow that hole. I'm telling you, the number.
From what I heard, everything loud. Everything loud.
From what you heard, how many numbers? What's the number count? What's the head
I
count?
don't know. They've been practicing at a place that I've been going, and I try to leave before they get there every time.
And that's my point. My point is, if they got over 80 people, then that's gonna be a big surprise to me. But if they got like 30,
I think they got over 80 people. I think they got over 80 people.
man,
Can't wait till they pop out. And if they saw anything good to our liking, guess what? It's in the state. We stamping it.
look, I'm gonna say this again. Virginia Mass Band, whether it sounds like somebody else or whether it sounds like a Virginia band, Mass Band is here to stay, period. Everybody getting the Mass Band.
I just want them to call themselves something else.
They not gonna call themselves something else. They in Virginia. Why would they call themselves anything else? My point
is disingenuous.
I'm telling you now, everybody is going to have a mass band. There's going to be a mass band in Poonduck, Texas, and they're going to call themselves the Poonduck Regulators. I don't know, but it's a mass band. There are mass everywhere.
Yeah, I can see
it. All I'm saying is, and look at here, and I'm saying this for a reason. Because at the end of the day, and I still feel like I still feel like the way that I feel as far as culture is different per person. But one thing that is undeniable, regardless of how different cultures react, Black people just like to be with Black people. So if I'm a kid who goes to, is Oscar Smith still white or are they Black now? Is Oscar Smith a Black? Oh Lord,
it's more Black than white.
Oh Lord, jeez. Anyway, my point is, if you go to a white school and you chocolate and you see a lot of chocolate people playing an instrument and you have the access to get to it, they gonna do it. I mean, it just kind of is what it is. So that's kind of why mass band is gonna take off, and it's not going nowhere.
And I gotta ask a question. I ain't asked this before because I ain't really interested, but does this all-star band have flags? Ain't none of my girls gonna participate because they don't tour like nobody in Virginia, but do they have flags? Because all the colleges here got flags. So no. Oh, okay.
I personally think it's too, and it may sound crazy. The all-star band, let me make sure I say it right.
Let's stop calling it all-star because they ain't auditioned, they showed up.
All-star, same thing. They don't gotta. They ain't no rules, so they gotta represent what the state represent. They don't got to. Like you say,
I disagree. Don't put the state. Don't put the state.
Georgia don't represent nothing. Don't represent nothing in Atlanta.
They used to.
Who?
They used to. Georgia used to represent a Georgia sound because you got to remember.
The 500-piece band right now.
Did I say now or did I say used to?
Used to.
Okay, they used to, but everybody wants to have the same sound, and that's to me where the problem is. That's the problem. Why does everybody want to sound like everybody?
Looking for is where is that, my guy?
No, I personally believe, and this is a hill that I am going to die on, and that is perfectly fine. I believe that there is a lack of education and creativity amongst the people who are in front and the willingness to take a risk to be different. Everybody wants to step in the arena with little knowledge of the only thing that they can try to imitate and emulate and try to quote unquote be in the club because of the fact that I sound like this. If I have a mellophone that's playing second trumpet part, then I'm the cool kid. That's trash. That is absolute trash. Now I'm just gonna say it. You have to make a mellophone sound like a mellophone.
Trash.
I'm just being honest.
I'm make sure if you present it right this for y'all. I haven't heard them yet. But it's gonna be funny as hell to see y'all look at this band and say, I know they were funny.
I'm hoping this our last mass band conversation because I ain't gonna want to discuss it.
It's never gonna be our
last. They don't perform until July 1st, so it's 2 more weeks left.
No, that's a holiday weekend. I'm not spending my time watching it.
Yeah, you are.
Julian, you sound like an angry uncle.
Yeah.
And
The Vanguard. Yeah, I like
y'all,
that.
y'all
VA.
don't play spade. Y'all don't play penny pan like we used to.
What are you talking about? I wasn't comparing anything about what anybody used to do except for Georgia, because you.
I'm-
What'd you say?
I don't see how it's the same, but you can say, like, when you were telling me about how, like, I couldn't stand in front of the North folks that used to crank it and stuff like that. And me personally, like, In the Ghetto, my favorite song that y'all play, well, one of my favorite songs, like it has everything that I like in it. Like, you got the oohs and the ahs. And then you got, like, this is what they known for, but yet the Vanguard can't do all that. That's crazy to me. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, y'all can crank, y'all just a versatile band, but
I think
they can't do that.
you're missing a point to that. Even when you talk about In the Ghetto, which was, if I'm not mistaken, arranged by Chris Gray.
Yeah, they blew that hole in that motherfucker. Blow
But
that hole. Ain't nothing pretty about it. There's nothing pretty about it.
Whoa.
Which version we talking about? Because we need to be
The
clear.
Listen,
one y'all just played against we y'all punched Hampton across the head with it when I was there. Yeah, that recent 2021, 20? Yeah.
but
No shot and no shade. The original was better.
It's not the same thing. Both of them good.
I'm gonna say this because I didn't even know it was redone. But what I will say is this: the difference that I
Not redone, replayed. Different years. I'm talking about when we was
every
now.
Different years are definitely going to sound different. One thing I've learned about from working at a college band and other bands, period, is you never expect to have the same band the next year. Anyway, but one of the things that I will say is different is, yes, we cranked up on that song. That was the last song I ever played as a Legion member marching, but there was still a Norfolk sound to that. You can say whatever you want to say. It cranked up, blah, blah, blah. But Chris Gray wrote it in the style of Norfolk. He didn't write it in the style of Southern. He didn't write it in the style of Jackson. As a matter of fact, there's another song that Chris Gray wrote that the Legion plays. Wasn't it? I forgot. I can't remember what it was. But it's one of them takes on Behold. I can't remember what it was.
Be scared.
Be scared.
It's 4 or 5 of them. I don't know. It's a
right. And they all crank. I will never take that away from Chris Gray. As an arranger, he can write some stuff, but he will write in the style of the program in which you are at. And he did not write out of any context of what Norfolk and the style of Norfolk played. Now tell me I'm lying. If you can prove factually and tell me I'm lying, and
how they crank, they blow that hole. Even that song, I'm gonna find the name of the song I put in that corner. What? Stop playing that. That song it blows the ball. I told Steve used to play shit in the fall. Like I don't want to just say y'all really acting like, like I would say like Hampton. I just feel the time we get it. All-Star Band doesn't have to resemble the college. It doesn't. That's just absurd that y'all trying to push that narrative. And based on see people in the comments, if you don't, I'm not supporting that trash. You ain't even hear them yet. It's the fact to me. I look at the bigger picture. There are people in the summertime getting together and doing something positive. It might not be your cup of tea if it's not, but they're representing where they from. And they might not like the style of quote unquote what y'all playing. So I don't know. I haven't heard them yet. But
I don't have a dog in the fight. I just was telling Julian that I know they don't sound like Virginia. They sound like somebody else. And if it ain't got no flags, then I don't know what's going on. Because
you heard them already?
What?
You heard them already?
The one that I'm not interested in none of it.
I will make it very clear that I've never said that I don't support them. I just said that I just don't think that it will garner the attention that I would hope that they want. That's all I'm saying. And I'm gonna stick with that. I don't, because of the fact of the Virginia sound. That's just me. I agree. I
understand it because basically there will be a representation of Virginia that y'all probably don't agree with.
Exactly. That's my whole point.
And I don't gotta agree. It don't matter. They still
gonna do what they do anyway, right? You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Yeah.
But I don't disagree with you, Burger. I actually believe that 90% of Georgia Mass Band is swag. I don't disagree with that. And then I see what you're saying, Zach. I don't know if I totally agree with you, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I think there's an extension of the instrument in all cases, I believe, where you take it out of the context of the horn. But I understand what you're saying in the sense of you would approach it properly. But I think that in the sense of what the way band and band arrangements is going, I don't know if anybody realizes or thinks that there is a limit. I think people are trying to push it to whatever extent they can get it to. So that's just where I stand with that.
We're not saying Norfolk is the standard, but what we're acknowledging, Ralph, is that Virginia bands don't sound like the SWAC. So if this Virginia band shows up sounding like the SWAC, that's disingenuous. There's a certain way that music is approached here from all the colleges, whether regardless of how you feel about those schools, there's a certain way that they approach music, and it ain't blow that hole. So if this band shows up blowing that hole, it's disingenuous. We're not saying that they should sound like Norfolk or whatever, but it's just different here. And my footage of Norfolk in the early 2000s begs to differ. Okay, I would be interested in seeing that. Because were they blowing and sounding like Norfolk? See, there's a difference, and that's what Julian is saying. Like, there are some songs. I mean, it's a video that's really grainy out there from, I don't know, 2008 when a high school came and we just was playing songs at them in the stadium.
That was my video. I recorded that video.
Yeah, like it was some stuff that was super loud, but it still sounded like the Legion. It's just, I don't know. What I'm saying is they're gonna do them, and I ain't got nothing to do with it. I listen, if it makes their heart feel good, go forth and prosper.
So let me so first of all, Zach, you are right, but you're also kind of wrong, because I never wrote I never asked for a mellophone to take anything up above, I believe it was A, maybe A or B flat. I think so. There was one time that the UAPB game when and I gotta say this because one of my guys, but UAPB game when we played the Bobby Brown tune. I can't remember the name of it that I wrote.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that one. And the mellophone took that part up. That part wasn't written up. I literally went to that student and cussed him out because of the fact that he took my part up, and I didn't ask him, and I didn't write it. That's not what we went on our own. Thank you. And I didn't write it. And I cussed the section leader out. I'll go back and look at it now, and I'll be like, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But at the time when I wrote it and what I wanted at that particular time, I didn't want it in that range. But again, you got some point, but there were limits to where I would allow my writing to go. And then to get to Ralph and what Portia was talking about, can I just say, what's wrong with saying that Norfolk is the standard in Virginia? I don't think that's a problem.
Y'all been saying it without saying it. Y'all been saying it without saying it. And I was like, damn, what about Virginia State? What do I have to? Y'all been saying it without saying it. I was like, they sound like him.
Norfolk, I'm sorry. Ain't nothing wrong with saying that Norfolk is the standard. Tell me.
There's something wrong with that.
Tight. Nope.
If it's bringing all, see, I don't agree, because if it's bringing Virginia together, it should be the good points from all the Virginia schools.
Say y'all sound real Southern-ish right now. Y'all sound
Yeah,
like the Kangs right now.
Hold on, don't say y'all. Portia didn't say that. I think that I'm just saying it
You
should
look at the Portia sound like the Kangs right now.
I'm just saying.
I have a question. How would a Norfolk, Virginia State, Virginia Union have the mass band song to you? Who would have faced for me? I know, but don't answer. He would have faced for me. So
Look here. Portia believes it. She just don't want to say it out in public. I
don't know how it would sound. Like, who's at the helm of it? Like,
but that's my point.
Like it's good.
Would you want Virginia State people at the helm of that?
It don't matter what I want. I don't have nothing to do with it. I think they're a good thing. I just think it would need to be a collaboration. Well, right now, I mean, I don't know who at the helm of it now. I don't know anything about it. What I'm saying is
Norfolk and Southern, actually.
What you say?
It's Norfolk and Southern. That's the two people in front of Southern.
Who from Norfolk?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it should be a collaboration. That's what I think it should be. But I don't think it should be one way or the other. I think some people would have trouble adjusting to the Legion way. So I don't think it should be one way or the other. I think it should be a collaboration, a meshing of the minds.
She is dancing.
Girl, you better be a politician.
Dancing around the fact that she knows that Norfolk is the standard of look, Portia. Look, Portia,
that might not be everybody's opinion. That's not everybody's opinion. So I'm not saying that. I'm
sorry. Look. I don't give a goddamn if it is everybody's opinion. The fact is, tell me when, Portia, or anybody in the chat, at what point do you remember Hampton or Virginia State giving Norfolk the business? I'll wait. And don't say back in the 80s. Don't say back in the 80s, and don't say back in the early 90s. We ain't even there yet. I'll wait.
My fight. I'm not from that.
I want everybody to be in their mass band bliss.
Thank you.
Do whatever makes you happy.
Thank you.
I don't have nothing to do with it, so my opinion don't matter. Just go forth and prosper in the summer, like whatever that means.
It sounds like Virginia.
No, you gotta do that. Sound how you want to sound. That's fine.
Yeah, it'll be disingenuous. Matter of fact,
09.
If they sound like Vanguard, disingenuous. Yeah, send it to voice. But yeah, man, I don't know, but I respect what y'all saying about y'all just wanted to sound like Norfolk.
Who said 09 what? Hold on, because 09 Legion, and I wasn't even in that band.
That's why I said I was like 09.
It's one of the craziest Legions I've ever heard. They sing listen.
Yeah, they did.
What your freshman year was?
Mine?
Yeah.
In college or in the Legion? I ain't marched my first year. I was done with band.
Your freshman year in college is what? 19?
What? You know how old I am, Justin? How old are you?
Oh, I seen some picture of your Instagram. I'm like, shit, what's it?
05, 06.
I'm 36.
I see some pictures on Portia's Instagram. I'm like, damn, I see shit, what's wrong? It little cute, but another story for that day. But anyway, yeah, I didn't know you were
there. 06. I came to college 05.
Look at here. Kokomo Jack, I sometimes usually agree with what you're saying. 05, 06 though? Nah. Now I will, let me put a disclaimer here. I'm talking full band.
Right, because it's the sections that
we're not talking about the sections. Yeah.
We're talking about full Legion.
Now, because I'm gonna say, as a Dizzy, I will admit L's. As a Dizzy, 06 year, Virginia State, we took a L as a Dizzy in the section battle. I wasn't section leader then, but I ain't gonna say nothing. But we took an L. But the band, oh nah, hell no. Nope.
Little off topic here. The Sunday after National Battle of the Bands, you think it's possible y'all could do a live stream show? I know a lot of people gonna be in town. They're like,
Portia
KD
gotta
gonna
be
be
on a
there.
plane.
Yeah.
Portia
So
gotta be on a plane coming back
Portia,
to
get your own
Virginia.
ticket. Get your own ticket back. Come on, Portia.
I don't know what kind of money y'all think I got, but baby, no.
I'm sorry, Portia. I love you, but you know you balling. You know you
Yeah,
balling.
you are.
You know you balling. Like you be acting like you ain't balling. You know you balling.
Let's talk about you are.
This
Ticket
guy-
back.
I got a new bill coming that's gonna make my money funny. So no.
Oh, she had the push. Yeah, she got the push. You know what I'm saying?
No, I do
yeah.
not have a Porsche, but I
Can
have
they
a
do it?
car. So
That is. She didn't say she traded the other one in. She did get another one. She got 2, 3 out.
no, that's gonna be my back and forth to Norfolk State car. I'm getting a new car.
What's the weekend one?
Balling. Balling.
My car has been paid off for 3.5 years. So
Mine too. I mean, just say, but I definitely that's just balling.
But with that being said, we got to get ready because now we done went off on 50 million different tangents.
right, and it's almost midnight. Okay,
Right.
in Virginia.
Like we didn't stay up till like 2.
No, that was crazy. I was hurting so much. Oh my God, Lord have mercy.
Hey, whether y'all know it or not, hey, for like the last two or three shows, we've been like staying up, like just talking. Not live though. It'd be after. But anyway, man, we got to get ready to get out here. Honestly, man, to me, this has been a really super dope conversation. And honestly, like I said, I ain't had nothing planned. We just kind of ran with it, man. So before we get out of here, I'm gonna do what we always do. Any final thoughts? Anything you got for the culture, Quan?
Nah, man, good show.
Oh, there it is. All right, Portia. Any final thoughts? Anything you got for the culture?
Man, do whatever makes you happy. Mass band, cymbal band, church band, street corner band, one man band. Whatever makes you happy, I want you to do that. Life's too short to be worried about the opinion of others. We have an opinion, but that don't affect what makes you happy. So keep doing that, And shout out to the Virginia All-Star Band and their first little battle coming up. Godspeed.
One man band, rubber band man. Wild as the Taliban.
A rubber band. Oh, hey, man. Well, I just thought about it, man. Rest in peace, Big Pokey. Man.
Rest in peace, Big Pokey, bro.
Golly, man. If y'all don't, I'm sorry, if you ain't from the city, if you don't really know who Big Pokey is, H-Town legend, part of the Screwed Up Clique, man. And passed away literally at a concert in Beaumont.
Oh my gosh.
Took his last breath. You can hear it on the microphone and went straight back, man. So rest in peace, man. Absolutely legend in the city. Whether sunny or gray, we're gonna ball and parlay.
That was a dope video. Did y'all see the video? Was it Tuskegee?
Which one?
What is that?
Was it Tuskegee? Yeah, they adopted that song.
Yeah,
And it's a video of like their homecoming with the whole crowd singing. It was super dope.
No, they always do that. That's normal.
Yeah, but it was like they were, it been going making this round since he died. And I was like, oh, this is super dope. It was a vibe.
Yeah. They always been doing that though.
I don't be paying. Listen, I be in my own little world, man, my own little business. I ain't never seen it.
This is the third week we have said the university to ski. I don't know what's going on, but see, we almost made it. The first week was crucial conflict. Then we brought it up last week. Now y'all talking about this.
God is trying to tell us something.
I just said Big Pokey, and then I said whether sunny or gray, we're gonna ball and parlay. She one brought up Tuskegee.
And the video popped up today on my feed, and I ain't never heard the song before. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is dope. And then I Googled him. So that's how I made the connection. Got you.
Justin, since you still on here with us, any final thoughts, anything you got for the culture?
Man, support the man band. This weekend they have New Orleans versus Georgia in Atlanta, Georgia. Then we have the battle, the Mecca, they changed the battle of New Orleans. July 30th, and then the first they have the Vanguard, Virginia versus North Carolina in Greensboro, somewhere around the area. Support that. And something else I wanted to say, I forgot. Shout out to everybody who watched. I appreciate everybody who came to my battle. We had a grand old time. And the people in the submarine, you know what I'm saying? I hope they find them, you know.
That's crazy.
I thought y'all was gonna speak on that. I don't laugh at it until they find them or whatever's going on. But that was, yeah.
When they showed that the remote controller was a video game controller, I said, "Yo,
yeah, that's kind of why I stayed away from
putting my life in the hands
of a PS4.
You spent $29 on, bro.
It's welded on the outside. You can't even get it's welded on the outside. And peep this. Millionaires and a wanted businessman. I think that just was one of them. You know, people be so privileged they just feel like they can do whatever. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going. I can't wait till they find them so I can really speak on it. But yeah.
What if they faking their debt?
So before we get out of here, I just want to say a couple of things and put in my final thoughts. So the first final thought that I have is I just want to this again, Lauren, your joke was a little too soon. She know what I'm talking about. She posted a joke on Facebook. It was a little too soon, but then she didn't even realize it was people in that little contraption. She just thought they went down there and they got lost. Bless her soul. Virginia is the standard for, Norfolk is the standard for Virginia bands. Also, Zach, you ain't got to come on here and tell them a business, man. I just want to say that. Hey, I'm just saying, it is what it is. Also, man, at the end of the day, man, listen to what you want to listen to, support whatever you want to support. It is what it is. If you're going to get criticism either way, whether it's good, whether it's bad, it really don't matter. You're going to get criticized. So just take the criticism and go with it. Guess what? We get criticized on this show all the time. We are the haters. That's what we get every single time. It don't matter if we agree or disagree. We are the haters. But guess what? We're going to keep coming back. But we're not going to come back in July. I do got to say that. We are taking a break in July, the whole month of July, because I like to try to make sure that we get some time off, like time off, specifically when we start coming back to around the anniversary year. So this year will make 2 years we've been rocking with this thing. So we are going to take a break in the month of July. I might run some old stuff on there. So just be looking for it. If you haven't caught any of the old things that we've done, well, there you go. You'll catch it all in the month of July. I don't really have anything else. Support all of the stuff that's going on, all the mass band things that are going on. Justin just told you I'm going to be looking for his videos from his mass band joint, as well as seeing what's going to happen with this Georgia and New Orleans stuff. And guess what? If I'm the one that goes against the grain and says somebody else won that everybody else says they didn't, you're just going to have to deal with it. What you got, Portia? Go for it.
I just want to say shout out, and I'll be praying for you. My sister Crystal, she said she got a job interview. So yeah, I just wanted to give her that. Go ahead. Send a prayer up for our sister Crystal.
Oh, she got it. I don't even know why.
Jack, the fact that oh child, you done told me something. I got to look into more about controllers flying and operating vehicles. But okay.
Oh Lord. Anyway. Let's go ahead and get out of here, man. This has been great. If you're watching this on playback, make sure you hit the like button. Also, hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe to the Passionate Network and turn on notifications, man. We will see you guys on next Whizzle. What dance was that?